Nolan has a look on his face like he's going to interrupt me as soon as I start.
I'm not Brad.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to 4Player Podcast, episode 484. It is just mere days away from Christmas. It's December
21st.
Oh, thank you. 21st, 2016. My name is Nick Henderson. I'm joined to my right by Brad Simons, Nolan Hedstrom,
How's it going, everybody?
and Christopher Davis.
Hello, hello.
Filling in for Christopher Guthridge, who is
On assignment.
out of the country, per se.
Pretty much.
He's in Florida. So before we get too far into it, we did a gift exchange before we started the podcast officially. Chris Davis gifted us all some very nice things. Brad got a Legend of Zelda world map puzzle thing, right? Nolan got a T-shirt. I got a Dark Souls T-shirt. Nolan, what was your Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley.
And of course, we all got a copy of The Division.
I'm not trying to be rude, but Nolan does seem like a Joja Mart kind of guy. Just saying.
Did you even finish Stardew Valley?
Can you even finish that game?
I completed the entire community center. Go fuck yourself.
When I first started playing that game, I thought about getting a membership pass to Joja Mart. Is there even a game if you do that?
Yeah, you just, instead of collecting things to finish a community center, you pay for it.
But that's still how you finish it?
Yeah.
That's actually better.
It's probably easier, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got us all a copy of The Division. So
So now we all have
now
two
we
copies.
have to play it.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
I think Nick, at least, is more likely to play it now that it's on a PS4 disc.
That's true. Now that he can physically hold it.
Yeah.
Y'all are fuck all of you. I love all these like backhanded,
But there's
like
some truth to
subtle,
that.
like
I'm
commentary.
being somewhat serious.
I know, and that's kind of the worst part.
Yeah, but if I bought him like a physical PC copy of that game, he probably wouldn't install it. You don't play PC games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I probably would not have installed it.
So-
I still haven't installed the full season of Telltale the Batman series, and I got that whole season for free. So
There's a PS4 Pro patch for that,
oh, you don't say.
so it's prettier.
Wonderful.
It runs better.
Well, I can't wait to play it. Honestly, maybe we'll do a 4-player.
Can we hop right into survival mode, or are we not ready for that?
No, survival mode you can play whenever you want. You just gotta open the base of operations from the very
Do you have
beginning.
to have a
of the game.
leveled up character to do that?
No, everybody starts out the same with the same equipment.
Because I actually heard survival mode's pretty good.
It's really
And
stinking
that might
good.
be a good standalone experience we could play,
Yeah.
without having to play The Division.
So maybe we'll do a 4-player.
And survival mode just came out for PS4, so
Maybe we'll do a 4-player Division night here sometime in the very near future. Now that we all have our hands on it, and the four of us. Chris Davis is not normally on the podcast. The four of us banded together, and we got Chris Davis a set of id Software boss fight drawings, paintings,
Posters,
pieces of
renditions.
artwork,
Art
prints, personally signed by the author with the Chris
Yeah,
Davis
very
was right
nice.
message on the Doom boss. I hope you like it.
I do.
Wonderful.
I want to see more of his work actually.
He had some cool stuff. Like when I went to Blue Genie Art Bazaar, and they had the Nintendo set as well, which was Metroid, Zelda, and Mario, which was pretty cool. But that's not the only gift I want to talk about tonight. I also wanted to take this opportunity to say to the community, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To our wonderful listeners and viewers out there in the internet. You guys banded together and you raised us some money, and you have very generously gifted it us for the holidays with the intent of us using it to set ourselves up with a escape room, panic room of our choosing.
Yep.
We're not sure which one we're going to do yet, but we're going to obviously let everybody know when we do that. So thank you to everybody who.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
Those are fun.
It's y'all didn't have to do that, but y'all did, and that means a hell of a lot to us.
Well, there's one more present, and it's just for you, Nick.
I don't know
God.
what this is.
This was brought to you by our dear friend Shantae.
Oh God.
Is it erotic
this better
dinosaur
not be any
fiction?
more erotic dinosaur fiction.
Nick, you still haven't read the other one.
Yeah.
I know, which is why I don't want to. He's going to continue to backlog.
You should
Well,
do a
would you-
date night like Carlos did, or meet up with Carlos and do a date night where
Together?
y'all read passages.
Well, I will forward this to you shortly.
What is it?
But if you would like to pass this along to him.
Okay.
God. Jesus Christ.
Pass it down.
Oh, God. Come on. Just Brad's making
didn't
faces.
look at it, I
This is an
just
audio
passed it.
podcast. What is this? Okay. What is this?
I see the word "but."
Print. Okay. This is just instructions. Okay. Yes. This is. I see another. It's another Amazon digital book
There you go.
called Space Raptor Butt Invasion. What the God damn it.
You should do a date night.
You absolutely should.
You know, at candlelight.
Is this really written by someone named...
Candlelight, a
This is
bottle
really
of
written by
wine.
someone named Chuck Tingle.
Evidently, he has a whole series of them.
A whole series?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
A long.
Space
hard
Raptor
read.
Butt Invasion by Chuck Tingle.
You can buy the whole series, but it's called the HOLE series.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Shantae, for this wonderful gift. I cannot wait.
Maybe you'd be a good gift
read it.
receiver and finally actually read something he got you.
Perhaps I will.
Looks like Nolan will be enjoying The Division.
What? I've actually played The Division.
Yeah.
Me and Chris David play a
You
lot
didn't
of
play
it.
our Xbox,
I
though.
didn't play like 400 hours of it, but I played a decent chunk.
Almost 500 now, actually.
Oh my god, we'll figure out something to do with that. So
Yeah,
yes,
just a night with candles and bottle of wine and some sensual music and
wine. Did you say it would be wine?
Yeah, why not?
You know what you could do? You could get, you could get a big comfy chair and wear a robe and sit and drink wine, and you could have Robin read it to you.
Yes.
And she can ask you scientific questions
Yeah,
like,
you can explain
Nick, where
how
is a
the-
raptor's
how-
butthole?
You could explain the physical how the raptor's penis would go inside the hole. Like you could.
Is the butthole underneath the tail or at
Does
the end
the
of
rat-
the tail? How does it work?
you know-
Does the Raptor sport a red rocket?
I want to know, movies like Jurassic Park have never directly,
Addressed?
addressed
You don't see
where
the penis.
dinosaur genitalia is. But I feel like that was a gross oversight.
Like you think when
We're all thinking it,
when
right?
the T-Rex was chasing them, you should have just seen some balls swinging around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do actually have a fireplace in the name of Harmon. He says, does Nick even have a fireplace? Although I can't use it yet, but I should be able to use it after January 10th. I know that sounds weird to say, but yes. I will have a fireplace that I can use
So
shortly.
no
So
climbing down the chimney.
what?
I'm fairly certain
Getting
most
stuck.
chimneys are not large enough for people to climb
Oh,
down.
man, remember
anymore.
those days?
when
I'm
they're-
sure you do.
I don't. I just remember
you
Gremlins.
I was gonna say, or you would chimney sweep as a child, or
I have a chimney sweep coming to my house in early January. I didn't even know chimney sweep. I haven't thought about
that's the
chimney
thing.
sweeps.
I was gonna
as,
say
like,
if you're gonna use yours, you should probably have it cleaned. And
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Make sure your flue's
that's
open.
That's why I say January 10th, because I have
Yeah.
someone coming out January 10th to inspect my
Yeah.
fireplace. So perhaps I'll break in my fireplace at my place by
Make sure he shows you
by
how
having
to,
a night of reading.
how to open the flue. 'Cause you
erotic-
don't want to fuck up your house.
I know how to open the flue.
Okay, just making sure.
I think,
Yeah, exactly. It'd be bad if you didn't.
unless it's different at my house. I have not honestly looked.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, to everybody. Thank you for the very kind gift from the community. Thank you guys. Thank you, Chris Davis, for the wonderful, thoughtful gifts.
I've not been
thank
to
y'all
an
for the
escape
wonderful
room.
art.
You have not? Oh, I thought you did one already. Oh, cool. Well, we're gonna do one, and we're gonna find one. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, so let's we're gonna talk about video games today. We got a few games. I know, as you can see up there on the screen, Shantae, Half Genie Hero, right? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Dead Rising 4, maybe a little Watch Dogs 2, right? But before we do that, I only have a couple pieces of feedback from last week's episode. I'm sure you guys were just busy doing other things, not commenting on the post. But as a quick reminder, if there's anything you want to chime in on, comment on, any discussions we had that you'd like to make your opinion about known, you can leave a comment in the post for this episode on 4playernetwork.com once it's live, and we'll get around to reading it on our next episode. But our first piece of feedback this week comes from Scarecrow. He says, beyond the 100-plus bands that have come together to Let It Die, I'm a bit surprised 2 weeks passed of talking about this game without anyone mentioning to Nick that Akira Yamaoka does the original soundtrack for it.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Which is probably how they got 100 bands to
Yeah.
compose a song for it, since he's probably got a lot of friends in the Japanese rock and alternative
Well, that's cool.
and metal communities.
He says he still does awesomely unique work outside of Silent Hill, and it goes well with the Suda style in his recent games. Yeah, he also did the soundtrack for Shadow of the Damned, which I really liked.
Yep.
So yeah, and he
Hated
still,
Shadows of the Damned.
You know, that game had problems.
No, I hated
No,
it because
that
he'd
game's
always get
great.
chased, and I hated being chased.
It did have problems though.
I love that game.
I like the game. I just hate being chased in games, and that
No,
was
I know. I'm talking to
prominent
Nick.
feature.
I
You do
also,
get chased
I
a lot.
also hate being chased in games. You know what you should play, Nolan?
The
What's
only
that?
problem with that game is that
Outlast.
the shotgun didn't actually have a spread. You were like shooting slugs or whatever, and it was very obnoxious that you could miss with a shotgun because that's just not the weapon you miss with.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So yeah, that's.
I would.
I actually opened.
I'd kill for a PC version of that game.
I actually opened up
good.
the store yesterday to download Let It Die, and this is the burden of having two PS4s in my house.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
I watch,
burdened.
I know what I
So
watch.
burdened.
I watch movies in my living room
On your PS
and
Poor.
Netflix and stuff on my PS Poor, and then I go into my game room and turn on my PS4 Pro, and when I turn on my PS4 Pro to download Let It Die, it said the last system you were logged in on was not this one. So in order to make a purchase, you have to confirm your credit card number, and my wallet was all the way upstairs, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm not-
God.
I'm
The
not
first world
doing
problems
this.
you experience in
I'm
life.
not doing this right now, so I just didn't do it.
I'm going to tell you something. This is in the spirit of Christmas. It's something that you should do. Only you can do.
Wonderful.
It is something that I think would be a great idea. I kind of pitched the idea, but I don't know if he I told him to contact you, and
Who is?
I think maybe he just kind of doesn't want to, or maybe
Is this a joke? He's just spending a lot
no,
of time.
no. This is not a joke at all. What I'm saying is, I think it would be. He doesn't watch the show.
Who
so
is he?
He probably has no idea. I'll tell you in a second. I think you should take your PS4 and your spare PS4, your PS Poor, and your copy of Last Guardian, of which you're now finished, and you should contact Mike and let him borrow it.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't have a PS4, and I know it's been killing him. But since you have an extra PS4 and you just finished the game, that would be like a great Christmas present. I told him that he should ask you, but I think maybe he just didn't.
Well, then
wanna
perhaps
bother.
I will reach out to Mike. I was really getting ready to shoot you the middle finger because I was waiting for something really. I thought you were just building up to a really long, drawn-out joke. But yes, that's a good I wasn't aware I thought he had a PS4.
No,
No, he's
sold
just got
it
his laptop.
a while back because But like,
Well, maybe I'll hook
most
him up.
importantly, the reason more.
I mean, let's be-
despite the fact that Shadow of the Colossus is like his favorite game of all time, and he's like mastered that thing more than I've ever seen anyone do. Like, he started playing Final Fantasy 14, and it would be a great distraction to maybe try to get him off of that.
Man,
Wait, why did he start playing Final Fantasy
Well-
14?
When I met Mike, he had a Final Fantasy 11
He
problem.
texted me like a week ago, and he says, and he was like, "Brad, I messed up."
Guys, I shit you not. I don't know. When I met Mike, long ass time ago, he had a Final Fantasy 11 problem like hardcore.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually.
just don't let him play Let It Die.
Well, yeah, he probably really
That
get
is
into
true, yeah.
That's a really good idea.
You'll
Brad.
never get your PS4
I'm
back.
glad you brought it up. I will speak to Mike and see if he. I mean, let's be real too. Even if I lent it to him, he's probably gonna knock it out in like a day,
Oh, yeah, probably.
in one fucking sitting.
And then do 5 more playthroughs.
The thing is with Shadow of the Colossus, he spent so much time doing a lot of extra stuff because there was a bunch of extra stuff to
There's
do.
not much extra to do
The
in
Last
Last
Guardian
Guardian.
is a pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say he probably wouldn't want to play it twice, but they're
He's
really.
gonna
I mean,
master Trika.
you don't cap.
His Trika will listen to every one of his commands.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be hilarious? So our next piece of feedback comes from One Button to Rule. He says, I love Brad and Nick's optimism on the interactions with Trico. I feel I have a better and more realistic bond with this animal that I love most of the time while also hating every once in a while when he's stubborn. I don't know if that sentence made entirely sense. I think I followed it. I think I followed it.
That's like having a shitty dog name.
It sounds like he's trying to describe a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
He becomes more of a companion than a vehicle to traverse. Just my thoughts. I'm sure you don't want to have another hour and a half discussion on the game. Yours eternally, the metal button. I think we're on board with what you're saying there. But yeah, we've.
It's like
I'm
Argo.
surprised you haven't. Oh, I'm not. I don't know why. I'm not surprised you haven't finished the game. You've been playing Let It Die.
Oh well, it's because I only play when I have free time with Malia, and that's not like every day.
Oh, you're playing it with Malia. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense. So yeah, thank you for your feedback from last week's episode. Like I said, just as a reminder, guys, we're we do giveaways every month of games. One of the ways in which you can enter to win a game every month is to leave a comment on the show. So if there's anything that we're talking about you want to chime in on, leave a comment that enters you into the drawing. You can also enter by retweeting any of our podcasts when they go live, when the tweet goes out on Twitter. And you can also submit quick read articles for us to post on the site. Whether we pick your article or not and post it, if you submit it, you're entered in the drawing as well. So,
Are there any other ways they can win games on the site, Nick?
they could, yes, they could.
How so?
I'm glad you brought that up, Chris Davis, because right now we're doing our 2016 Game of the Year stuff.
It's news to me.
No, it's not. We're preparing our top 10 videos. But as you may know, every year when we do, aside from doing our own personal top 10 videos, we like to do one for the community. So we have a survey that y'all can take. If y'all want to leave your top 10, your favorite 10 games of the year in said survey, we will tally them up. We'll put them together into a community top 10. The top 10 games of 2016 as voted by the community.
Yep.
If you submit in that survey, then you are also entered to win a game. And we are discussing... Remember what we discussed last night? Are we okay with that? I think I should have brought this up before the show.
I was not on the
Yeah.
meeting, so I can't answer that.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So we're gonna be giving
Going
away a
off
free
script.
game. We're gonna give away a free game to someone who is drawn at random who submits in the survey for the Game of the Year survey. That game will be your choice of one of our games of the year. So you get once our top 10 videos are out, you can pick any one of our Game of the Year. And that will be your game of choice.
Hypothetical. I'm not confirming.
Brad's game of the year is Let It Die.
Okay, maybe number 2.
I'm saying if it is,
Way to
you
throw a
can't really.
fucking-
If it is, maybe you could just buy a bunch of death medals. For
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say
person.
give him credit to buy a bunch of death medals.
Yeah.
$60.
Yeah.
You can get 120 death medals.
That's not a bad idea.
You'll have no problem in that game.
Fair enough.
Or maybe by that time you'll be able to buy express passes, and those are
That's
valuable.
true. That's
$60 will get you one legendary.
So that's the idea. So we have 2 surveys up right now. Actually, the first one is top 10 games of the year. Like I said, if your name is drawn when we do the drawing, we'll give you a choice between one of our games of the year.
Oh God!
We will also give. Go ahead.
I mean, I know what Chris Davis is, and no one wants that.
What? You don't know what my number one
I'm
is.
just fucking
But Brad,
with you.
we already have copies. We can
Yeah. We have plenty of copies.
That's fucked up.
I can just mail him the PS4 spare copy I have.
That is
All right, anyway,
fucked
the other
up.
survey, Nick. The
Other survey is for the top 10 4-player highlights of the year. Your favorite funny ass moments that happened on our stream throughout
Which you
2016,
guys selected.
which you guys selected. So go watch some funny clips, vote for your favorites, and that will also enter you in another drawing. Same deal. You have 2 chances right there. So I just detailed 3 ways to win a game in December, and by December I mean probably early January, because that's after all this shit is done.
Yeah.
So go do that. We'd really appreciate your input, guys, and we always love reading your feedback on the shows next week. So, with that said, now that we've gotten all that Merry Christmas bullshit out of the way, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be the Grinch or anything. Let's talk about video games. I don't really know where to start.
I don't know either.
Let's see. Chris Davis?
Me?
No?
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I can start. Okay.
He seems... So, you played probably the newest, most high-profile game
I guess you would say
that
that.
I am curious to hear about, because I played this game at E3. I played it, again, at PAX, I think.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked it. And this is a series I have almost no history with. Well, I played the first one. I'm one of those people that was really kind of too stressed out by the fucking time.
Yeah, the time
Then this
always
one's for you.
The time always gave me an issue with the first
Yeah.
one. I just didn't like that.
The game we're talking about is Dead Rising 4. We haven't said the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also Christmas themed.
Yes, it very much
So
is.
it seems fitting to start with that.
appropriate.
It eats shits and pisses Christmas everywhere.
Wonderful.
That sounds
It-
painful.
I mean,
Like just think of like trying to eat an ornament
No,
and
no,
then
no,
shit
no,
that
no, no,
out. All the glass.
Pee it out. Oh.
Well, that's not how your body works. You don't pee glass.
thank God, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
That'd
Am
be
I
bad,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But no, Dead Rising 4.
What if our Christmas show was titled The Peeing Glass Show?
Oh, God, no.
No? Too much?
No.
Episode 484.
Too
you
hard,
don't-
too
you do-
fast? Is that-
Episode 484. You don't pee glass.
Oh my god, no. So Dead Rising 4, it is what, the 6th game at this point in the series?
6. Where's the other?
I thought it was 5.
Well, there was off
Really?
the record.
I thought it was like 3.
So there's Dead Rising 1, there was Chop Till You Drop, 2
Oh,
off the
counting,
record,
like, the one
3.
bef- We're talking about
and
like the
4.
redos of 1.
Well, I mean,
Isn't 1 a redo?
redo of 1 and then a
Till you
redo of 2.
drop. Who
Yeah.
even?
Who
That's
named that?
not even. Don't even mention that one.
It was
named
pretty
that?
bad. It
That
was pretty
just
bad
the
in
Wii
comparison.
version of the game. With
But I
like
went back and played
4 zombies per screen.
I went back and played like the HD version of Dead Rising on the PC recently. That game has not aged well at all.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
listen.
Also-
I want to be
Oh my
clear here
God.
before we get into Chris Davis slobbing this game's
Candy cane.
candy
No.
cane.
You don't know what I have to say.
Slobbing the candy cane. I will say, and I'm not speaking for myself, but there is a very passionate Dead Rising fan community
There is.
that is actually quite bummed out that they basically streamline all the timers and challenge out of this game,
Oh, really?
out of the series,
And
gradually. In that it's a real bummer because that original Dead Rising was almost kind of like a roguey like kind of thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's all gone now.
And I agree with them for the most
okay.
part.
Well, I didn't know you were a fan of that first one.
No, I'm a fan of the franchise as a whole. I mean, I never beat Chop Till You Drop or Off the Record, but I've played all the games. Dead Rising 4, it's very much like Dead Rising 3. It's from Capcom Vancouver, also known as Blue Castle. The guys have been doing all the games.
That was
since 2.
Dead Rising 3 was the launch title for the PS or the Xbox One. Wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Nolan could play on his Xbox.
This-
I played it at Chris Davis's house when the Xbox One was launched.
And you did not have fun?
Eh.
It's
That's a
very
game.
much.
That
It's,
actually looks like a lot of fun what you're doing on screen
it's just
right
a
now.
tad cheesier than Dead Rising 3 at this point. So it's very much built on Dead Rising. This is like basically 3.5. It takes place in Willamette, the original town from the first game.
Takes place in Will Arnett.
Willamette. That's how they say it, Willamette.
Willamette.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah, the original town from this is like 16 years after the first outbreak. It stars Frank. It's not the same voice actor. He's not as charismatic, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard he's kind of a dick in this one.
he
Oh,
really
really?
much is kind
Like
of a
more
dick.
of a dick.
He's very big on the one-liners and just being that comedy action hero thing, but he's not that entertaining.
So he's lost his charm.
He's pretty much lost his charm. Yeah,
That is what I heard.
The charm of this game really comes from player activities. The game actually takes place in the entire town. You start out in the mall, but then
Does the mall look like if you've played the first
it's a
one? is it-
complete reworking. It's totally different.
Oh, so that's a missed
Nothing to
opportunity.
say.
If you're gonna set a game
Yeah.
in a town
And
and have
blow it
part
up.
of that town be the same place as the first
They
one, quote,
remodeled,
unquote,
Nick.
I absolutely agree.
then
I
it should
absolutely
be
agree.
like they should be like,
They
oh, this is
remodeled.
familiar.
It would have been more potent though, you know.
But with this redesign comes I think better
look at-
level design.
Like look at Resident Evil 3 to 2. There was a moment in 3 when you actually go back through the police station of 2 and you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
But in
Yeah.
that case,
Look at
it's a
fucking
very small version
Metal Gear
of the
Solid
police
4
station.
when you go back to Shadow Moses Island.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
go.
That was a lot of
That
fun.
was-
No, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Getting to see like all these other areas you
So
never
yeah,
saw.
like Nick was saying,
Yeah.
I could imagine them doing the original mall would have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is very much Dead Rising 3.5 basically. The structure of the game is it's got the same case structure. You know, you're solving mysteries and trying to figure things out, but you're not stressed out by the time limit.
Which
That-
is where the first and second game lost me.
Which really actually I think that made those games better. That stress level of exploring and time management.
it's weird because like that turned me off of the original Dead Rising, but at the same time, it's also like I just realized that maybe the time thing wasn't for me, but to see them remove it seems like
The thing, see,
it seems like too drastic of a decision.
See, the idea behind it is sound because if you remove the time limit, that allows the player to explore all they want, and they can complete all their side objectives, and all these little bonus things you can do. Problem is, that content really doesn't exist. You don't. Most of the game is structured around the side quest stuff are either maniacs that they only occur like once or twice per case. There's 6 cases in the
Maniacs
game.
are like, so I remember the first one.
They had the psychos.
Clown.
These are maniacs. They're like groups of just nut jobs They're not given a cutscene introduction. They're not that entertaining.
Oh, really? They don't
There's-
even get crazy intros because that
No.
was like that. I remember playing the first one and seeing that intro like where you run into that.
I heard
crazy
they're not even
clown.
hard. They just
yeah,
have a
no.
little bit more life than regular zombies.
Yeah, they're really
Oh,
just
really?
slightly harder normal enemies, unfortunately.
disappointing.
And hard is maybe, I don't know. I mean,
But-
I have not played.
but that's the thing.
I heard it's fucking easy.
This game really is fucking easy. I mean, I died maybe
Which
once
is
throughout the
crazy
entire
because
playthrough.
I think back to the original Dead Rising, and there was like it was fun, and you got all these silly weapons, but there was still this impending sense of dread of getting swarmed.
I mean,
Of
there
like,
was that
okay, there's too
horror
many
element.
zombies getting nearby. I better go. You
Yeah.
know, and that tension was.
But thanks to the combo weapons and the mobility of the character, because I mean, you can sprint for days sometimes. And the exosuit, which we'll get to in a minute, and the vehicles for that matter. But outside the maniacs, which again are once or twice per case, all the other side stuff are like random encounter events that happen. And
Like
so
with NPCs or like
basically NPCs. You'll either rescue a survivor from zombies, rescue a survivor from Obscurus, which is the evil paramilitary corporation thing that's in here, destroy their supplies, take some of their supplies, or that's about it. There's very little variety when it comes to the side content in this
Yeah.
game.
How-
It's
you
really built
finished the
more
game,
towards,
You finished it, right?
Yeah, I finished a couple days ago.
How long did you spend in it?
On to get to my level, which was like level 70 for my character, I spent about 20 hours.
Okay.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but when you're just exploring everything there is to do, you know, that main story you could probably complete in half that time maximum.
It's such a weird decision to see them like strip out like 'cause, like
Turn
even,
into
even if I
Dynasty
didn't
Warriors
even if
for
I didn't
zombies.
like the timer thing, like it was still kind of what made Dead Rising unique.
Yeah.
And I'm not really okay
I mean,
with them like
yeah, they-
stripping it out entirely. Oh my god, what the fuck was
No,
that?
they've added in a
Selfie mode.
an Arkham style investigation mode into the game, to where you're an investigative journalist and you're trying to figure out the mysteries of this outbreak. And so you're going into these areas that are investigation zones, and you're taking pictures of evidence that you find around the area, and you're given like hints as to what they are. But unfortunately, the way it's structured, where you detect these hints, it's not very straightforward. You can easily get lost trying to figure out exactly what you need to take a picture of.
Gotcha.
And it just irks me that a game that's built around Frank West, who's supposed to be this photographer, and how prominent photography was in the first game, and even then and off the record, it really doesn't do anything in this game. It really has no reason for existing in this game other than the investigation mechanic.
It sounds like they kind of just ditched a lot of what made Dead Rising unique in favor of just like, let's let them kill more zombies by just...
It's not that they, at least for the photography, it's not that they ditched it, it's that they didn't build on it.
Yeah.
Like, there should be...
This looks like Condemned. All
There,
of it.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say
it
it's
kind of
kinda
is, or
Condemned-y.
a little bit Outlasty.
Yeah.
Outlast,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's
But-
Condemned with the investigation, Outlast for the perspective.
Yeah.
But just the way they don't do anything with the photography, they've stripped out a bunch of like the side options. You don't escort survivors. There are evacuation centers like the safe rooms in the previous games, and they auto populate when you
It sounds like they did
zombies.
like a focus test and was
Save
like,
your
I don't like the
zombies.
timer. Oh, I don't like the timer. Fuck it, get it out. It's like I don't
Oh,
like
it
escort
pretty
missions.
much
Fuck it,
feels
we don't
like
need
that.
them.
Like there's so little side content to this game. I have to wonder whether this is even worth a $60 purchase.
Does
There is multiplayer in the game, but it's not straight 100% co-op. There are missions that you go on in episodes with people. And the game with its season pass is planning on having epilogue DLC, which complements the
I'm
kind
not
of
really a
crappy
big
ending.
fan of that release model.
If it's epilogue content that's released within a week of the game,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If it's like 3 months down the road,
When nobody
the fuck are
gives a
you
shit.
doing?
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's a real shame because when I played this at E3, I was actually having a lot of fun. Like I really enjoyed the weapons. I loved
The minute-to-minute gameplay of
the Christmas
is really
theme.
good.
The Christmas theme comes across as really fucking.
Who is
charming.
this? Who is this, guys?
I mean, who do you
What?
think
No,
it
no,
is?
Chris Davis. You don't say.
I won't say.
I can't see
Is
it.
that It looked like Freddie Mercury.
And as I say, it kind of looked like Freddie Mercury.
Is it
Kinda
Freddie
close,
Mercury?
actually.
An amazing mustache.
Also,
You're gonna have to tell me because I don't know who it is.
It's Mike Hagar.
yeah,
Oh.
the mayor of the world. I mean, come on,
Sorry.
the best mayor ever.
So sorry.
Now so the stuff you
What's
find
the
in the world,
craziest weapon?
the craziest
Weapon.
My favorite ranged weapon is one you actually get very early on in the game. It's called the Blambo. You basically combine fireworks with a crossbow,
See,
and then you shoot it at them, and they just go up in a nice fireworks display.
You know what? That sounds great. You know why it sounds great? Because that's exactly what they gave me at the demo in E3.
Let me ask you something.
They
Let
have
me ask
the
you
ornament
something.
cannon, which launches ornaments, and then you hear jingle bells when it explodes.
Imagine a game with like really cool weapons like that, but more inspired, tense combat, more akin to like Dark Souls. How does that sound?
I see.
That'd be interesting.
I
Maybe
see,
a gun that shoots fireworks.
I see
but in
what
a
he's
Dark
doing.
Soulsian.
I see what he's doing, and I'm not
style
okay
of
with this.
Combat.
I'm not okay with this
Brad,
transition.
Brad, just let it die. Come
There-
on, move
Yeah,
on.
just let it
Fuck,
die.
goddamn it!
There's
Nolan.
lightsabers and let it die.
Yeah, and you combine a sledgehammer with a cement saw. All the classic combination stuff since the second
what's a
game came
cement
out.
saw?
For sawing cement.
It's
For cutting cement.
it's a power saw that cuts cement.
Okay.
Never
Does
seen
that,
one of
wait,
those?
does that really exist?
Yeah, that is a thing. It does
That's
exist.
crazy.
I mean, I guess I could see a use for it.
Man, that was such a wonderful like attempt at transitioning, and Chris Davis was like, "I'm not having this."
No,
I'm
no,
just
I
gonna
want to talk about
keep, gonna
this.
keep talking about Dead Rising 4.
No, I do like this game.
I'm glad you played
The
it.
the
That-
extras and the collectibles aren't that good. The costumes that you can find, like Hagar, I found an Akuma outfit earlier.
Yeah, I saw you running around
There's
there.
actually a Mega Man. There's a Zero for Mega Man X costume that's really well done. They fucking love their fan service for Street Fighter in this game. There are stores in this town, several of them, that are completely devoted like Street Fighter and all these classic Capcom franchises.
This lightsaber looks. Like
Did you
a lot
get
of
any
fun.
other Street Fighter outfits besides Goki / Akuma?
I do believe so. I think there's a Ryu. And I think there might be a Ken.
Is there a Shun-
used to be able to
Is
Hadouken.
there a Chun-Li?
I don't know. I haven't explored all the stores in the town, because that's the thing. There's a shit ton of buildings and things to find in the mall. You kind of will get lost while you're exploring, but it's. I mean, the outfits, the way they're structured, you can either buy them straight from a survivor inside an emergency center, or you can just find them in the world. But they're not as prominently put out, and the stores you go into, they don't necessarily put outfits together that much.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot of variety in finding
There's
them
that.
in there.
There's the fireworks.
Yeah, there's
gun.
the Blambo.
It's pretty cool.
And then I guess the other new thing for this game is the exosuit.
Oh yeah, they gave us that in the demo as well.
Yeah, so the exosuit is
They
basically
really shot their load in the
a
demo.
super powered suit that you can wear. That it's only temporary. It's used for certain missions inside cases, but I mean, the only purpose for it is to kill zombies and other enemies. There's no other reason for it existing. And
I mean,
for
isn't
all-
that what you do in the game?
But with the lack of the side
kill 'em
content in the
better?
game, there's no strategy element to its use. It's really only there for just, again, killing.
It's just another weapon, that's all.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, that was cool.
Oh yeah, you can punch cars, and the great thing about the exosuit is that there's so many like hidden weapons in the game for it that you don't really notice. Like you can go up to a parking meter, rip it out of the ground, and it's got a bunch of cement around it, and you can just smash into zombies. You can find a couple exterminator
Wait,
trucks.
does change fall out when you hit them?
Huh? So yeah, there's a
Like the
currency
parking
system
meter?
in the game.
No, it's not about the parking meter.
Like when you hit them at the parking meter, just change.
You know,
flags.
I only did it
believe
like
it did in
once in
Mad
this
World.
footage.
When
Uh,
you shoved it through their face.
But yeah, all the enemies drop scrap, which is the in-game currency. But yeah, you can find pest control vans inside the world, and you can rip off the giant fly swatter that's on it and just start smashing zombies with it. You can get power-ups by
This is Dynasty
bringing an
Warriors.
exosuit.
This is Zombie Dynasty 1.
Yeah, so like
Well,
I'm watching,
that's something I want to get to in a minute.
but like I'm watching this footage, and like I don't remember this being like. If there was ever that many zombies that close to you in any previous Dead Rising, I feel like you were fucked.
Yeah, no, this is a different game. It's a different.
No, it's again, it's like a lot like Dead Rising 3, in which the the zombie count is up significantly, but the threat isn't as strong.
What was the critical reception to 3? I can't even remember.
3 people thought it was good. They didn't
Yeah.
like the more horror focused tone of it.
It was one of the more
But that
promising
comedy element
launch
was still there.
titles of the 2 systems,
yeah.
from what I understand.
I mean, it wasn't.
As in, it was like a real video game.
Yeah, a solid game.
This does look like Dynasty Warriors.
I mean, no. I think I would like. Okay, I don't want Capcom Vancouver to ever touch this franchise ever again. I think they've done a fine job.
That right there is super telling.
I think they've done a fine job, but I think this is as far as they're prepared to take it. So I want another developer to take this over. I want like Omega Force. I think they could do something
What
really
are you
interesting with this.
talking about?
What? Omega Force does one thing and one thing only.
They
but
do
it very
Dynasty
well.
Warriors. That's what this series has become, and now you want the Dynasty Warriors people to work
I
on
want
it?
Hey, the thing about Omega Force in the past 5 years is that they've started to experiment. And they did like Attack on Titan this year. They did Hyrule Warriors. They're doing a bunch of
The
different
Dragon
things.
Quest
that they're-
Dynasty Warriors game, the Zelda Dynasty Warriors game. No, I mean,
They're all Dynasty Warriors at the base. But
I'm saying the only one that they've made that's not Dynasty Warriors is the fucking, the big giant people eater one that you just
Attack
said the
on
name.
Titan.
Attack on Titan. But
But
beyond that,
it's kind of Dynasty Warriors. Like, not,
yeah. I mean, it's
it's
Dynasty Warriors with
structured
one
like
big
it.
it's
thing,
Dynasty
but-
Warriors, but instead of lots of little enemies,
Yeah.
there's a few big enemies.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I feel like that's the last people who should be making this game. I mean,
But it's hard to think of other developers that I think
You know what I'm gonna
trust with
say?
this
And I
formula.
know you said there's a like a diehard Dead Right. I mean, I feel like this series really hasn't. I think 2 is like I think the last like super strong entry in this franchise. People like 2 a lot, right?
2 is really good.
Yeah.
two people like two.
That's
And
when
that
they
was
introduced
from
the
these
combo
guys.
weapons.
Maybe Capcom just needs to let this franchise die and bring back one of the other franchises that they've just
Yes.
shit on over the past decade, like Onimusha
Or Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis.
No, and Capcom says they want to do that.
You know
Shadow
what?
of
We
Rome.
have so many zombie games, but you know what? We don't have enough of dinosaur games.
Sure.
That's
I
very
would-
true.
I would
How
love.
about Dino Dynasty Warriors?
No, shut
you're
the fuck up.
just-
I swear to
Dinos
God.
Get into
Warriors.
exosuit and you're just waves
I
and waves
swear
of
to God,
raptors.
if they bring back fucking Dino Crisis, but they give it to the Dynasty Warriors team, I'm gonna just end it. It's just I'm gonna. It's
You're just gonna be
done.
running around taking on hordes of little raptors.
Yeah, basically.
little compies.
The
Yeah.
bosses are going to be like a T-Rex or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
The game is. I think the
Dead
game
Rising
is
is a
good.
done idea though. Like they don't need to make another one of these.
They've expanded as far as I think they can really take this formula.
I mean, they've literally
If they
come
really want to
full
do
circle.
interesting new things, they got to bring back the timer, which the DLC is going to bring that back as well.
I think after the reception of this one,
You know what?
there's
You know
They're
what
gonna
zombie
have
game
to-
looks pretty good. Looks like kind of where Dead Rising should have gone. That new Sony Bend game. What's it called?
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were
one, like,
joking when you said, "What's it called?" Brad, you have a whole fucking video of you
Yeah,
saying
I know.
"Days Gone"
Yeah.
like 50 times.
Yeah.
Days Gone, man.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Again, I think.
Was that on the highlight survey? Please tell me.
Yes, it was. People
Oh.
suggested it. It was one of the most suggested ones too. So
Days Gone.
again, I think the game's good. I think it's got a bunch of issues. I don't think it has longevity towards it, and it's definitely not $60.
Well, I'm glad that you played it because somebody had
You
to.
know a zombie game I'm looking forward to?
Days Gone.
No, State of Decay 2.
Oh, fuck yes.
Well,
Yes,
is that coming out
sir.
Next year too.
I think so.
You know what? I want to give you homework. It is to complete Sunset Overdrive because you can only play that on your Xbox.
Okay. Yes, I will give you my copy.
I have a copy of it.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, then play it.
That's all you got to do, Nolan.
No,
that's all
you have
got
to play
do.
through it.
That's a delightful game.
I bet you like it.
I'm sure I would. It's not about that. It's about that if I do it, then I can't sell my Xbox as a never used.
You already sold it, didn't you?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's been sitting on my shelf for a year almost now.
1 year ago, we got you this Xbox. You
I-
still
I
have
could
it.
God.
see.
You know what would have been great if you
I
had just
could
been like,
see-
I'd love to play Sunset Overdrive, Brad, but Days Gone.
I got to be honest with you. I could see them potentially canceling the PC port of Scalebound. I think that's why.
And in that regard, then, similar to my PS4 Pro, I would probably not want to play it on an Xbox One. I would probably want to play it on the better system.
I mean, I don't know.
the Scorpio.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll
Yeah.
cancel it. I don't think they'll cancel it.
Just know this, Nolan. We're not gonna band together and buy you a Scorpio, okay? It's not gonna happen.
No.
I mean, never mind.
You gonna say it could happen? Is that
No,
what you're
that's
gonna
not what
say?
I was gonna say something else. But anyway.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
To a game
Yeah. I'll talk about a game.
that no one's been playing.
Yep.
And Chris Davis.
No.
Oh.
Which one?
I wasn't talking about Watch Dogs.
I played that.
Well, like recently, I'm saying. I know
I've
you've
played an
it.
hour of it.
I know you've played it, Chris Davis. I'm just saying I've played it the past couple of days.
How much have you played so far?
Going on 4 hours, maybe
Cool.
3 hours, something like that. 3 or 4 hours, whatever.
Would you say you're enjoying it?
Yeah. So it's good. It's a lot busier than the first game was.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on in this game.
Yeah, it's almost overwhelming. at
No,
first.
it can be like I'm like looking at the map and there's icons and I'm pulling up my phone and there's all these apps and I'm like, what do I do? So I recorded some footage and I just invaded people the whole time.
So yeah, so the multiplayer
That
is up and
mechanic
running now.
is still so much fun.
I know it is. And the funny thing is, I don't have the footage here, but the when I first started recording footage, I went to invade someone and I was like, I went to invade and the icon was grayed out and I was like, what?
You were being invaded.
I was like, oh shit! So I just jump in a car, and this is if you're playing this game and you think you're being invaded, what you do is you get in a car and you just drive. You
Yes.
just drive and you drive and you drive and you drive and you drive, and eventually they leave, and that's what happened because like they can't catch you.
Wait, but don't you want to like fuck with the guy? I mean, want?
It's hard. No, when you're being invaded, it's hard to fuck with a guy. When you're invading
'Cause
someone,
they're
that's
doing
when
the
you-
fucking.
Yeah, because when you're being invaded, it's a bunch of where is this guy? You're trying to find him. Whereas when you're invading someone, that's when it's fun because you're hiding from them and you're trying to juke them out and you're like kind of.
What are you doing when you're in their game?
So all
Stealing shit?
Yeah, you steal their data. You're hacking them. So all you
You
really
have to
do.
stay in a certain radius of your starting point of
Yeah.
the hack, and you just had to hide. That's really all you do. You can't attack the
Correct.
player you're hacking.
Yeah.
If you do, you lose the invasion.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that. I just
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
well, I just want to know why it's not fun to get invaded.
Well, I was just gonna say that
Isn't it fun to try to figure out who it is?
Well, I
it's-
don't think that it's not fun. I just think that no one has clearly decided which one is more fun.
it's actually
Exactly.
harder to invade somebody in this game than in the last.
Yeah.
Because you
'Cause
now
they just
have
get in
your
cars and
you have
drive
your
like
UAV
dicks.
drone that you
No,
can
it's
fly
it's,
remotely.
it's because in the last game, as y'all can go back and look at some of the highlights from last year, when you're being invaded or invading someone, they just have to run around and find you. But like Chris was saying, in this, since you have the drone, that makes it a lot easier because now instead of having to run around, you just fly the drone around and lock onto them. So you have to be very careful in this game of your hiding spot, and you have to pick somewhere that maybe you can have some cover above you is good and stuff like that because, or you know, you have
take
to
more into account. For
yeah. And so, but often in this, you know,
sure.
when
The range in that drone, man,
yeah,
is
it's
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
pretty good. And so now, but when I'm going to invade someone, I just simply can use the drone to get to them, so I can start the hack from farther away as well.
And you can activate your hacking vision mode thing,
Yeah.
which highlights potential characters in purple. And once you've scanned them and profiled them, they go just gray like the rest of the screen. So you know exactly who you have left to look at.
So okay, so you can kind of it gives you a visual indicator of who you have eliminated as a possibility. is what
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay.
But the funniest thing still is I love doing like hacking missions like this, and I start hacking someone, and within like 30 seconds they like just quit their game.
Oh,
They just-
That happens, yeah.
They can't find you, and they're freaking out, so they just quit, and it's hilarious.
I mean, are the stakes high?
Not really. It's not. I mean, like if I get
In
hacked,
the-
like whatever.
In
Like,
in the previous game, you would lose overall points if you got hacked or if you got killed if you're the invader. But this time around, there's no punishment for losing at all. It's just if you win or if you partially win, you get followers, which you
followers,
can
and
put towards
you
your
get some
overall
cash,
goal.
too.
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, there's not really like I think this guy he freaks out, and then right now I think he just leaves. Like, yep.
Oh.
There he goes.
He's about to quit. I'm trying to act nonchalant.
it's not me.
And then
It's certainly not me.
yeah.
What a punk ass bitch.
No, that happens multiple times in this footage. People just leave.
Yeah.
But there's one guy who found me really quick. Like he ran right up to me and shot me. I was like, how did he do that? I'm not going to call him a hacker because I was doing the hacking. But anyway, So the story mode, I'm not super far into the story mode itself. It is definitely the main character Marcus is much more interesting than Doof. What's his Adam Jensen? What was his name?
Aiden Pierce.
Aiden Pierce. Much more likable character.
It's a much more colorful.
Oh, definitely.
It absolutely
game all the way
is.
around.
Yeah, no. The first
Explain what you mean by colorful, Mick.
the last one was
The main
very
character
dark.
is black.
Okay.
How's
Okay.
that?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is that what you want me to say?
Yes.
I was actually going for just the game itself was more vibrant.
And so this is another thing with hacking, as y'all
More
saw, like
articulate?
there wasn't a cut here in footage. And that's what I like about this. Like if you go to hack someone, it will just like sometimes just warp you to somewhere in there. It's like really snappy
Yeah, and you'll be in
about
a
it.
car. You'll be relatively
Yeah, they'll
close
just throw
by.
you into a car driving, like sometimes, and that's what happened here. Was I just happened to be in a car driving by these people? That's when I said I want to hack somebody, and these people like attacking a gas station, and so there's cops around, and so I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna hide over here in this bush, while like the cops are after them, and so it's kind of like doing my job for me. Like they have a hard time finding me. But one of the things they added in this game was emotes, so you can do different things, and one of the emotes is dancing. And so I love to just hack someone and then just hide somewhere and dance while I'm hacking them. And just dance.
cool.
He does this. He's like,
I wonder if the PS4 version is as snappy as that when it comes to invading people.
probably not just because of load times. It's
Yeah.
probably a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. So I do like exploring like the city and stuff. There's a lot to do. Like I said, there's a lot of icons. There's a lot to interact with. There's a lot of like different modes. You can like be a fucking like Uber driver in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can.
Which, interestingly, it's called Driver San Francisco.
Yeah.
Ha!
Yeah.
I see what they did there.
I mean, isn't that just the taxi cab missions from?
Kind of. But it's more in depth than that. You don't just drive someone from point A to point B. Like one of the ones I did the other day was some guy lost his robot. And so we had to go try and find his robot. So we had to drive the different points in the city where the robot might be until we found the robot.
Do you try to do longer routes where you like double back a bunch so you can screw them out of their fare?
No, it's actually more of you want to do it quicker and more efficiently to get
Yeah.
more money.
Doesn't sound like an Uber driver to me.
No.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's akin to like Crazy Taxi.
You know what stood out to me when I first played? Because I started this, about a month ago. I haven't got around to playing more of it yet, but I'm going to. But I remember in the short time that I played it, what stuck out to me, one thing I really liked was the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Soundtrack's
The
pretty
music's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, they don't have Diane Young, so it gives a
sorry.
C plus on the soundtrack for
Oh.
me. I haven't spent enough time with this yet, but I'm sure I can mod it and just replace every song with Diane Young.
Oh, I'm certain.
Probably
you
can,
And
yeah.
that's probably well. The thing is also when I was casting this, I just ended up turning off the music because I don't want the stream
Why
to
was
get
it that
muted.
song? What about that song?
What do you mean? What is it about that song? Have you heard that song? That song is a delight.
My apologies.
Yeah.
Who cares if the stream gets muted? Don't let it affect your experience. 'Cause I was worried about that at first in Mafia 3, and I'm like, the fucking soundtrack in this game's so good.
Don't get me wrong. Like
If I lose out on a clip, whatever.
before I was casting and stuff, I was listening to just music just fine. But that being said, because of that, I noticed that like I don't like the controls where like to stop the music, you have to press
it's
this
weird.
options button and then hold down. But the problem is like sometimes when you get in a car, like there's a pop up, so when you hold the option, there's like it's just like kind of silly.
And when you try to turn off the music, sometimes and if you're in the starting a mission, there's some dialogue going on.
Yeah, like-
it will cut off the dialogue.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. I don't know why.
Why
they
can
should-
he dance? Why does he dance?
Because it's an emote you do.
Yeah,
you can do a
it's
lot.
a
You
thing.
can do like a wave. You can do like a greeting.
Brad just thought that was what he
Okay.
does when he's standing still. He dances.
Well,
That's what he does.
No, I chose. If you notice,
Okay.
Very
I chose
colorful
to do
character.
that.
He just loves
and
to
this
dance.
mission right here, you'll see. This is one of the ones where, well, once again, did you see how seamless this was? I'm still in the same car. It literally combined our worlds.
Yeah.
Like he was in his world doing something, I was in my world just finishing a hack, and I said I want to hack this guy. I just want to hack someone, and there happened to be someone in the same like area as me, so it literally just combined our worlds together like seamlessly.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. There was no loading screen here. It just all of a sudden we're in the same universe now, and I drive over and I throw out my drone to hack him, and then I stand on this roof.
I
and
feel like
dance.
this is the best idea in Watch Dogs. I feel like they should take it a step further. Though.
No,
like make the stakes really high to where like a community kind of forms around this.
So I could see
and
that.
maybe like alliances and stuff.
I could see them potentially
maybe
doing that.
Hacker factions.
Hacker factions.
Yeah. That could be interesting. Yeah. No. There could be
Because-
the only problem I can see with that is stake wise is because if it affects your single player game, that's when I could see people not liking it as much. If it was a separate entity, or if it affected, because like I said, like it's you're in the middle of doing a mission or something. I guess not a main story mission, like a side area or something, and someone starts invading you. It can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Which is why I love doing it to people. But yeah, like this guy was attacking this like base, maybe trying to get, I don't know if there's like money in there or something, trying to get it. And all of a sudden, I just invaded his game, and he probably got taken out of it, and was probably like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?"
Well, I mean, it doesn't interrupt your mid-mission stuff, but when you've completed a mission...
Well, like I said, like you can't invade someone who's in a main story mission.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that.
Have you hacked a grenade yet?
No. I don't think you can hack a grenade on when you're hacking. So, you talking about in the story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's different. But yeah, so the other day, Jaeger and I did a bunch of the co-op missions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you cannot do co-op invades. You can invade someone who's in co-op, but you can't. Two people can't invade one person, unfortunately.
Is there a better reward for invading a co-op game?
Not really. I don't think
Really?
so. Maybe more money. I don't know.
Yeah, it
maybe.
does seem like a bit of a missed opportunity.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the footage from earlier where I invaded those two guys and see how much I got for it.
When I hack somebody, my favorite thing to do is to go up against a building that has bushes on it and then just take cover.
Yeah.
So you fade into the bushes and you can't be seen.
Yeah.
But how do you dance?
That's true.
Well, I don't
You
dance.
gotta,
It's so urban. That vibe of them trying to be like cool, urban. Did they lay it on a little thick, or is it?
I think they do.
a little. It's a little thick. A little bit.
The characters eventually, at least they kind of grew on me later on in the game. But for like the first half of it, they really...
Yeah, so
have a
like the
lot of
first couple of
characters,
story missions and stuff, they very much throw it on like, oh, these are hip hackers and blah blah. And one guy's like almost like a dead mouse, like he wears like
Wrench.
not wrench.
Yeah,
That's his name.
No, I'm not talking about Rich. Daft Punk. He wears like a helmet that like changes like emotions on his face and shit.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
it's Rich.
Okay.
No, but he was trying to think of Daft Punk as the
Daft
comparison.
Punk. Yes.
Dead Mouse.
Not
Dead
Dead
Mouse.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Daft Punk is who I'm comparing it to.
Does Daft Punk have?
Yeah, they have their helmets that have like the changing shit on. Anyway, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
There's a Dead Mouse ripoff that's canon actually in Watch Dogs 1 and 2.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, the very like story missions are like they're very like lay it on thick, like oh you blah blah blah, and we're hackers and we're cool and the elite, I don't know, well, whatever.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, the co-op missions I was doing with Jaeger, they're kind of samey. Like I don't know, like I wish there was a little more variety. Maybe we just didn't find all of them, but it was kind of a lot of it was invade like a base full of enemies.
Steal some of their stuff.
Steal either like some devices that people have, or steal a car, or steal some devices, or steal a car. Kind of.
Yeah, there's no like
of it.
dedicated, story missions for co-op as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and that's
most of the co-op missions, as far as I've experienced, you can do on your own. You don't need somebody else's help.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of just an optional thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I said, I wish they were a little more in depth. Maybe we'll find some. I guess one of the best parts about it though is that in co-op you can climb on top of a car, and it's like you're Spider-Man. You just like stick to the roof. Like in GTA, if you get on a car and the car moves, you fly off.
Yeah.
And in this, like I was going like 90 down the highway, and Jaeger was just standing on top of the car dancing.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like it was a lot of fun doing that.
I wonder if that was like a conscious decision or if they just didn't care enough about.
I don't know. The physics for interacting with co-op partners is really weird.
Yeah.
Like if you like nudge them with a car, they'll like slingshot back to where they were. But sometimes if you nudge them hard enough, you can move them. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah. So like I said, I'm enjoying it. There's one thing I think they took out of this, but I wish they wouldn't have, was the kind of like the iPad invasion of other people's games or whatever, where you could control like police chases on them and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I remember
Second
that.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second screen. That I really actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, Ubisoft has pulled away from that for all their games.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, they were going balls deep on it.
Yeah, they were.
like,
They
for
were
a
going
long time.
hardcore on it. Yeah.
Like there were straight up whole conventions where the entire Ubisoft booth was nothing but.
Second screen experiences.
Yeah, like I remember Assassin's Creed Black Flag when that game was coming
Yeah.
out. They didn't do any demos of the game, but every booth, every time I saw, I think E3 and and PAX both did a booth where it was like, come play our second screen app experience.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
mean,
what?
And for certain games, it's not a bad idea at all, especially when you have when
Like
you're
this,
hacking
this
other
is
people.
a perfect fucking game for it. And
Yeah.
like I said, I really enjoyed the second screen experience from the first Watch Dogs. I actually played it quite a bit. It was instead of hacking someone's game and trying to download their data, you would literally just be like trying to stop them from escaping, and you could set off like devices in the world and send helicopters after them and stuff. I really enjoyed that.
There were only like 2 things that really kind of irked me about the game.
This game?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So the first one was like how they structure melee combat in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the first game, it was Aiden Pierce had that baton that he could beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
But it didn't count as a kill. In this one, you do any sort of melee attacks, whether it's stealth or actually straight on just hitting him with that 8-ball and that string, it counts as a kill.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Apparently I've been killing everybody.
Yeah.
I thought I was fucking just yo-yoing them to like
I've killed a lot of
knock
people.
them out.
No, the only way you can actually kill some or like
Death by yo-yo.
do a non-lethal takedown is by using your stun gun or using
Yes.
shocks in the
But
environment.
the stun gun's a piece of shit.
You can upgrade to make it a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine like a
that,
pool ball on a
Knowles would-
string would.
I mean, I guess
Probably
like,
kill
I guess
some
I
zombies.
kind of
Kill
didn't.
someone
I
with a
kind of
stun
thought
gun.
maybe I was killing them because sometimes instead of like smacking them with it, he runs up and wraps it around their neck and pulls, like a.
And then one of the animations, he gets the pool ball, shoves it in their throat, pulls out a knife, shoves it into their chest. I guess I've been killing them.
Yeah.
I mean,
well.
but the
think
problem
about it.
with
Let's
that,
think about it logistically for a second. Like putting a 8-ball.
Is
on
it?
the
I
end
thought
of-
it was a yo-yo.
No, it's like a pool. It's a billiard ball
Hey.
on the end of a string,
Yeah.
and you're swinging it around,
Yeah.
and hitting people on the side of the head with it.
yeah.
That could fucking kill someone.
You know,
I,
Yeah.
I understand
you know
that,
what
but
game you could play right now that has a yo-yo weapon type?
Let it die,
Don't say.
you fucking
let's
asshole.
not talk about that right now. No, what I'm pointing to is that the character of Marcus, he's a shit ton better than Aiden Pierce. Aiden Pierce, he had potential, but they shit on him at the end. With Marcus, he's much more entertaining. He interacts with his side characters so much better.
He has a
And
personality.
He has a personality and a character arc.
The-
But
the-
and the first weapon you get in the game, and the one they encourage you to use, is a stun gun.
Yeah.
But when your melee when your melee attacks kill people,
That's silly.
it doesn't match up to the character at all. It's a ludonarrative.
He
dissonance
seems like a
thing.
nice guy, but when you're playing him and you know you're like just,
Yeah, like this
Fucking
this
murdering
elite
people?
hacker guy like running around hacking. That's okay, but then all of a sudden when he's running hacking and just killing all the people he comes up against,
He doesn't like up front. He doesn't like to use guns. Like
Yeah.
his character doesn't seem to be interested in actually using guns. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He doesn't like to use guns because he doesn't like to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
But now I guess I learned that he is killing people with
Yeah.
his 8-ball on a string.
No, he's my problem with Pierce wasn't that he fell apart at the end of the game necessarily. That they didn't give him any redeeming qualities at the end at all.
I didn't like his
So-
story so much. It was a very like, oh, I'm a brooding hacker, blah blah blah. I was wrongfully.
They killed my niece.
Yeah.
I mean, he had an arc,
kind
Spoilers.
of. Yeah.
kind of. I mean, that was kind of his motivation.
and he appears in the game, and you do.
oh,
something.
spoilers!
I didn't know
Oh,
that.
that was in that was in their marketing material.
I didn't watch them.
Well,
sorry.
son of
Well, I'll tell
a
you when he
bitch.
appears.
You
Okay.
murder him with an 8-ball.
Yeah. Of like, oh, an 8-ball. I thought you meant like drugs.
Is he? All right. So I'll pick this up when it's $13.
It
on
probably will be
Gamefly.
soon. But yeah, this is another example of I hack this guy and like he immediately just quits. I don't know why. But anyway, so I'm upset that I haven't gotten to play this more yet. That's because I know I probably will enjoy my time with it, but it's also one of those games that I think you could probably spend a lot of time. And my problems with games like these, when I look at the map and I see all the shit on it, I want
gotta
to fucking
collect it
do
all.
it all.
Yeah, I really want to get back to it. It's because for whatever reason, like I liked Watch Dogs 1 a lot despite its problems, and I'm thinking back to like all the things that like all the moments that I played in Watch Dogs 1 that I really liked, like all those emergent moments, like in car chases and shit, and like making I always talk about loving the blackouts was really fucking cool. And I started playing this game, and for whatever reason, like up front, I didn't have any of those moments, and I played it for like 2.5 hours, and I didn't really have anything like that kind of even hinted at those kinds of moments. I know they're there, I know they're coming, but I gotta find some more time to sink into it before I can get to those points. But
When
will it happen? I don't know.
One more thing that I didn't particularly care for that they took out for this game Remember when you were playing the first game and you would have those moments that would pop up in which there's a crime about to occur, and you can
About
actually
to
interrupt and prevent
Yeah,
you know
you can
the
stop
death
yeah,
of the
yeah.
victim.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that out. It's not in the game, so you don't have that vigilante
you're not-
aspect
Well,
you
of
can-
the
you
game.
Because you're not Batman in this game, unlike
there-
the first one.
you can do it to an extent. Sometimes there'll be like a car chase going on, and you can stop the car chase.
Yeah.
The thing is, like Aiden Pierce in the first one was very much a like character who was actively trying to be like a vigilante.
Yeah, he was trying to
This-
stop crime, whereas
Yeah.
this guy is kind of he's
This guy
trying
is,
to
like,
he's trying to stop a
protest-
different kind of crime.
Yeah,
he's
he's trying to stop white collar crime,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, correct. Yes, and
Yeah.
instead of blue collar, I guess. I don't know, but whatever. I mean,
I'm not a crime expert because
Yeah.
I'm not a criminal.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
main missions in this can be pretty good though.
I like the approach there. Like Nick was saying, more colorful. I like I don't know how much I spent on art. Like whoever did the art assets for this game, they had to spend a lot of money because it is very in depth.
It's a very pervasive art style or art, like art.
aesthetic. I don't know. What
Yeah,
you
well, art like the actual like art stuff that you see all over the city and like in
Graffiti
their
and all that.
UI and also like it kind of permeates the whole world.
Yeah.
So
I like I said, it's I don't want to say it's more fun, but it's just I get like a better like feeling from this game than I did from the last one. The last one just was very plain, plain Jane, boring kind of.
I like games with fun, colorful art styles.
If you're about to transition to let it die,
No, not Let It Die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna transition into Shantae.
We have not. I've not. We're
Are
not
we,
talking
are we,
about
are we
Let It Die.
actually transitioning? You done?
Yeah, I'm done enough. I'll try and play a little more of this before the end of the year, but we'll see what happens.
cool. Brad, what you got?
What I want to hear about. I didn't fucking play it, but these guys did.
Chris Davis and myself played some Shantae, Half Genie Hero,
Yep.
which is the newest Shantae game. I'm not super far into it, so I think Chris Davis is much farther than I am.
He finished it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Chris
shit.
Davis, where do you
It's,
find the time?
How do you play so many games when you're spending all your time in the Division? Which he was playing the other
You know,
night.
that's probably
Well,
the kind of game.
I
that
don't
you
happen
could-
to have a social life, so that makes up for it. Or a drug habit, but it's about as expensive.
Yeah, I was about to
Well,
say, it's
yeah.
basically a drug habit. Anyway, so Shantae, Half Genie Hero, the latest Shantae game. They are all delightful little games with lots of boobies.
Like cartoon boobies, though.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
but they're really nice looking cartoon boobies. Mm-hmm. I'll say at least.
Yeah.
The game is honestly, this game is gorgeous. It really is.
No, and so this is their best looking game. Definitely, the art style's really good. The world, it's kind of that 2.5D. You're not interacting with it, but it's more 3D. All the games in the
sprites
past-
against a
this
3D
is-
background.
Yeah, all the games in the past have been, flat 2D games, but this has a 3D background. Since it's out on
That's cool.
PC and consoles and stuff like that, it's a lot more power behind it than their previous handheld games.
Yeah.
So you said this is later in the game, obviously.
This is like the fourth world you meet. Mm-hmm. So
So I've only done the first like 2 or something like that. The first one is there's a guy who's trying to sell mermaid meat, but the mermaids are few and far between. So he kidnaps girls and like sticks like fishes, like he sticks their bottom half in like a fish mouth, so they look like a mermaid.
yeah,
And then he sells them as meat, I guess.
yeah, cans them up and
Yeah,
sells them as monster
fucked.
chow.
It is
That
pretty
is
fucked
fucked
up. Yeah. But then the final boss of that level is a giant sexy mermaid.
The Giga Mermaid.
How's Roddy Tops looking?
I haven't
Roddy Tops is
interacted
in
with
the
Roddy
game.
Tops yet. I've only interacted with Risky Boobs.
So okay, first of all, I have no fucking idea what any of y'all are talking about.
Okay.
Second of all,
You've never played a
can-
Shantae game.
Can someone
Yeah.
please remind me what the conceit of Shantae is? in general?
Shantae is a half genie protector of this town, and she's sent on various quests to save the world.
And the gameplay is what genre?
It's,
Metroidvania.
Yeah, Metroidvania 2D side scroller.
Because this looks like fucking like Sonic or something.
Well, yeah, this is a.
Yeah.
I've never.
This is
I've
one of the
never-
auto-scrollers.
Yeah, I've never seen a Shantae map like this.
There's a transformation, so you transform into different animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. I only have the first 2 transformations. So one is a monkey, and as a monkey, you can climb up walls and stuff like that for platforming, getting around different things. And the new one I just got was a crab, so you can do underwater stuff. I think in the last game there was like an elephant or something.
There's
There's elephant in this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I haven't gotten that one. But yeah, so that's another thing. So that's why it's a Metroidvania. And there's some Castlevania elements of transforming into creatures to help you circumvent the world and stuff like that.
And using those transformations, you can go back and play previous levels and explore different things that you couldn't access before.
Yeah.
This makes it look like a platformer, but it's not actually.
Yeah, this is one of the few auto scrollers in the game, but it's really not that much of a platformer. It really is an exploration game.
So usually the levels aren't scrolling like this.
Correct.
It's
No.
just a-
There's 3 of them in the game.
Think Metroidvania.
Gotcha.
You go to a world, or I guess like
a level-based
yeah,
Metroidvania.
yeah. But anyway, the all of the the antagonists are all like women, and they're all kind of.
I've noticed.
Risky Boots is the
Her name is Risky Boots, but I call her Risky Boobs.
yeah.
Oh, of course, because that's
boobs.
just that's
Yeah, it's just asking
it's
for
just
it.
sitting. It's just hanging right there, waiting to be
Yeah.
plucked. Right.
Yeah, I can't. I wish I would have written down the name of the first boss you fight, but it's like the.
I have it right here.
You do have it written down. Okay, hold on. Do you memorize the name
Yeah,
of it?
I
Okay,
memorize the name.
Good.
It's a ship on top of a giant slug.
Yeah.
Called a Tinker Slug, but it has an acronym. It's the part Omni Organic, partially Titanic, Ocean Optional Tinker Slug.
That's
And there's a second,
Pap
and then
smear.
Shantae says, "Poop toot,"
It's called Poop Toot.
which, by the way, do not Google poop toot. Do not Google poop toot.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Wait, please tell me you Google poop too.
Unfortunately, I did.
Oh, no!
God, don't.
Did you Google image poop too? Or
Oh, was safe search on?
You can't get up.
oh my god!
Anyway, so I mean, they're always kind of like
show.
they're not, I don't want to call it a kids game because it's definitely not, but it definitely is not like a.
It's a more mature platformer with lighthearted.
it looks
you know,
mature.
It is very lighthearted.
Very lighthearted.
As I say, they make lots of jokes that are always really corny.
The
jokes.
comedy, but the comedy's pretty good. Yeah.
The
like
music is usually really.
Oh
good
yeah,
in
the
these
music's
games.
always
The boss
fantastic.
fight is actually music is really.
The
stinking
boss
good.
fights are usually really good.
Yeah.
Like, they're always in depth. They're,
Is it Jake Kaufman doing the soundtrack for this?
I haven't looked.
I don't
it up.
remember.
Usually does, or he did the last Shantae, and he's the composer for also Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight,
a lot
yeah.
of other stuff too.
So I mean, the one thing I've heard, and this Chris Davis already beaten it. I've heard that the game's a little bit shorter than they normally are.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they're all like kind of.
Well, yeah, they're not
Like-
20-hour games.
Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
maybe like 15.
I've always wanted a way forward to kind of do that, especially with this series, because they do a lot of licensed stuff, and this is kind of like their original baby that they've been doing since the first one came out in the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, they've been doing Shantae for a while.
Yeah, you
God.
know,
Well,
you know,
so-
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've always kind of wanted them to do like this real meaty, you know, more akin to like a Symphony of the Night or like a Salt and Sanctuary, just like fucking something you could really sink your teeth into.
So-
and when I heard that this one was probably even shorter and like more linear than even that last
I mean,
one,
to get-
I was really bummed out.
I mean, to get to this level of visual fidelity and production. Plus, remember, this was a Kickstarter game.
I know that's
So,
why I thought
it only
they
got
finally
so
had the freedom
much.
to maybe do that.
They didn't get like every stretch goal they wanted. They only got like 5, I think, out of like 10 or
I think
15.
the problem is that Shantae fans are few and far between, but the ones who are there really enjoy the game.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And so it being a Kickstarter, yeah, they probably didn't get as much as they were hoping for, and the ability to create that expansive game that Brad wants. And don't get me wrong, I would love to play a Shantae game that was
Yeah.
like a 40-hour, like really in-depth Shantae game. That would be really nice.
But I beat
Or
the
just
game.
like a big world. Like I think the last one that was a fully connected world was the one on DSiWare.
yeah, the
Originally came
one
out-
I played last year, right? Was that one?
No, that was Pirate's Curse.
That was
we played
Pirate's
last
Curse,
year.
that's right.
Talking about like Risky's Revenge.
Oh, Risky's Revenge. No, so I played that on PC. I never finished it. But yeah, no, that one was pretty good. I did like what I played of it. I never got around to finishing it. I can't remember why. It was probably because it was the end of the year. when
Yeah.
But I mean, I beat the game in about 9-10 hours ish.
Okay.
And that's with like 82% of everything collected.
See, that's weird
But the
because I've
thing is,
actually heard that it's
the game
you
in-
can 100% in like 7 hours.
Well, you can probably do it in 7 hours if you play the New Game Plus, which keeps your transformations. But there's also free DLC coming in which you play as Risky Boots.
Oh, nice.
And that's her own mini campaign. So I think they're planning on expanding the game more. Just it's
that
mostly through
sounds
free
like a
content.
Kickstarter goal, but
Yeah,
I'd
Might
be
have been a
interested
that
stretch
was
goal.
actually. Yeah, I think it was like the first goal actually. So.
But what I'm saying is, like, these games are all like all the Shantae games have been good and charming and colorful, but they I don't think they've ever been like, you know, great. I don't think anyone's favorite game is Shantae.
Correct. I mean, there might be a couple of people out there, but
Like,
yes,
it's no one's favorite series.
There's no like Castlevania style like Shantae game. They're never like they aren't getting like 98s and stuff like that. They're not. Like,
Probably,
they're
honestly,
always,
that's probably because they probably could if they went a little deeper.
maybe, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I
would-
mean, forgive me if I'm
Talking
if,
out of
if
your
I'm
ass.
wrong.
Yeah. Is that-
I apologize, but isn't this and the remake of Risky's Revenge the only two like multi-platform games they've ever had? Hasn't it always been like handheld titles?
Well, I mean, they've ported. I mean, they all originally started as handheld, but they've all except the original Shantae, Risky's Revenge and Pirate's Curse both ended up getting ported to consoles and PC.
PC, yeah.
Okay.
But man, you missed quite a few jumps there. Oh, shit.
Well, no, so I will say the platforming's a little weird in this. I don't know. Some of the jumps are kind of weird. From what I've played, at least I've missed it. But I guess I haven't been on a level where jumping would kill you if you missed it.
No,
like this one.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like you're saying, they've always been like just. I don't use the word mediocre.
Slight.
Yeah, they've always just
Not
been
mediocre, just slight.
playable games.
Light snacks.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Yeah. They've never been like, in my opinion, bad. They've just always been like, that's a pretty good game.
Which is
insignificant.
I've seen. The thing is, I feel like scope. Like, why is something like Shovel Knight so much more? Just like.
Why is it?
I think Shovel Knight's an amazing game.
I think
Well,
like,
why is it
why-
getting? Why is it finding its? Why is it finding so much success? Like mainstream.
Well, not just that, but why is it so much more effective? Like Shovel Knight is formed by Yacht Club Games is former WayForward.
Yep.
It is very much kind of feels like a WayForward game, and it was a Kickstarter. Yet that one just feels so like rich and fully featured and meaty. Even though it's still a game you could probably finish in 10 hours, but man, I don't know.
I think it's the style of the game. I think it's the fact that it's a little more difficult than Shantae.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Shantae's easy. I've died a few times, but I'm saying I think I would call Shovel Knight more technically sound. I would say it's similar to a Castlevania, or it is you have to be precise in a lot of the things.
Yeah.
The way you interact with enemies, like this, most of the enemies you just whack with your ponytail.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not using your sub abilities that often.
I mean, you don't really need it for this particular level.
Okay.
Because there's not a whole. I mean, you're on airships and carpets in the sky. I mean, you don't really get a flying transformation for.
No, not your
another level or two.
transformations. Don't you have like abilities? Like.
Well, I mean, you can find enhancements for your transformations. Like you can get eventually. You get, like,
there's a part where
crab
you're shooting
attack.
like fireball, like a 3 fireball spell.
Oh yeah,
Like
no,
the magic spell.
I really don't need. You don't really need those.
You did play Dishonor with no power.
You can
so.
you can upgrade.
like
you can
Chris-
upgrade Shantae with like enhancements to her hair whip.
Yeah, you can get like shampoo and shit for her hair
and
that
faster
makes her attack
faster
stronger
attacks.
and faster.
So
But like I'm saying,
you don't
like,
really need it.
I'm saying that I don't ever feel like it's just like you say, like there's mainly one attack you have to use to get by in this game. Like
And
it's
that's the ponytail whip
Yeah, the
thing?
ponytail whip.
And there really aren't that many projectile-based enemies in the game.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. I just don't think it's as in depth technically as something like Shovel Knight is.
Yeah.
And I think it's something they could probably easily do. I don't know why they haven't. All of the
Maybe
Shantae games
maybe
are
for whatever reason they just they're like dead set on keeping Shantae kind of a simplistic. Maybe
I would compare it to Pokemon. There have been slight improvements throughout the series, but overall, it's always had the same core.
yeah.
Which is one of the reasons, like in my opinion, why
That's
I
quite
haven't
fair.
been able to play Pokemon lately. It's just because I don't feel like they've changed enough.
Yeah.
And I haven't been playing Shantae since it was the Game Boy era. I've only played like 3 Shantae games, and so maybe that's why I'm not as jaded as some people might be on it. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, unless you have anything else to say about this, I think we should probably take a break.
Yep.
I do have one thing to talk about.
Yeah,
but I
so
don't
we'll
wanna
come
take
back.
long.
We have one more game to talk about on the other side, and then we'll answer some Patreon questions. I think there's a little bit of news for us to cover, not a whole lot. 2016's wrapping up, so we'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that mother.
Don't touch it.
Dial.
Reborn is Reborn.
We're going to get started here momentarily. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to talk about stuff, I think.
Yeah, I gave Chris his present before he left. So.
Oh. Well, son of a bitch.
Present wasn't his name, it's his penis.
It was not my penis.
What? I said it was peanuts.
I'm just gonna give it.
What?
Just gonna give it.
It's all copies of Monopoly.
No.
God,
Chris.
I certainly hope not.
Chris Davis, we all chipped in and got you something for Christmas.
It's all
This is
you.
for yours to open.
Aww. That's
You're
nice.
a great podcast producer, video producer. And
Wait,
this is-
seriously?
Yes, this is your Christmas gift from
Oh,
us.
dude, thank you.
You don't,
So-
I mean, they could be.
You got to open it, but open it on camera.
Well, no, we're gonna open those during the break.
No.
Just
Why?
Just get it over with.
Well, let's start. I mean, do we want to start recording or? Because we got to put this on the audio, don't you think? I want to put it on the video.
Okay. Well,
Wait, what do you mean?
well, we can start.
But it is recording.
No, I mean, I'm not recording.
Okay. Well,
Nick, always be recording.
he's going to be off mic and stuff.
It's
but go for
digital.
it. Just hit record. And then you
You
start.
don't
opening.
got to swap out a tape.
I mean,
We all got him something.
This isn't high 8
This
we're
is from
working
all of
with
us.
here.
That's nice.
I want you to open them in order, and you got to show the camera.
Okay.
I assume I know what the order
If I'm gonna
is.
do that, let me distribute y'all's presents real quick. You don't have to open them, but
just so he can one up us.
Yeah. You got to open yours
Oh,
first.
that's. Oh.
Well, you
This
didn't
is-
even wrap yours, so we already won.
I ran out of wrapping paper.
He ran out of wrapping paper while wrapping gifts for his real friends.
Shoot.
What if it's like.
you just hear
No,
like,
no, no,
like
you-
glass
Do we open
shattering.
ours first, or
It's y'all's choice. What would y'all prefer?
Chris Davis? You're the Christmas boy.
The Christmas boy.
So go for
What
it.
does that even
Okay.
The
mean?
little Christmas boy?
Don't forget,
Christmas boy,
you
that's
have to
good.
open it in front of the camera.
Well, just show them.
Well, I
if
guess
you
they,
open it.
yeah, they can see it
They
right
can
there.
see it.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Frame! You got me a frame! I've always wanted a frame!
Is he opening it
You've
from the
been
back first?
framed.
Oh, he hasn't even seen it yet.
So this is.
Wait.
Good old Mecha Hitler!
Okay, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Wait, show them.
Yeah, let me show you.
We got ourselves some Mecha Hitler, i.e. Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein 3D is such a good game, guys.
What else do we got?
Who here hasn't played that game?
You're not done yet, Christopher Davis.
Give me time. I'm usually the last one to open presents at my house. Oh, I'm opening it back.
Oh shit! It's another frame.
Wait, what is...
If he doesn't know what this one is, I'll be upset.
I don't think he knows what it is.
It's not the icon of sin.
What the hell is the icon of sin?
Just show them.
Chat will know what it is.
You remind me I'm losing my goddamn mind.
It's the final boss of Quake.
I've never actually beaten Quake.
Oh!
I'm sorry!
It's okay. This now you will.
Now
Okay,
I will.
so
you have to.
Before you open the last one, I will say that these prints came from an artist, a pretty accomplished artist.
Yeah.
In fact, he does comic books, film, and he is from Austin. But just open the last one.
Yeah, I played Quake 2 and Quake 3, but I never played Quake
I met up with the artist, and he left you a special message. And it's not just from him; it's from all of us.
Ah, the Spider Mastermind. Chris Davis was right. Nick Darrington.
Yeah.
Actually, awesome last name.
When I told Crispy that I was going to meet this guy, he was like, "Dude, you need to go into a comic book shop,
That's
purchase a
cool.
copy of Doom Patrol #1, and get him to sign it." And I was like, "I'm not going to do that."
Dude, that's awesome. Thank y'all.
You're very welcome.
I'll say this: I think, at least from me, and maybe y'all, that's officially me eating crow. Okay.
Hey, I told him to
I
sign it with
refuse
Chris
to
Davis'
acknowledge
name.
that out loud.
It's on tape. You can't take it back. Well, thank y'all. Now open yours.
Hey, Carlos got us something.
Did he?
Uh-oh.
What is this shit?
It just says 4Player Network. I didn't open it. He told me not to until like whenever.
It's the final boss of Quake, Doom, and Wolfenstein. The first ones.
Well, I like it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Although technically it wasn't the final
it's
boss.
a bit.ly
of
link.
Wolfenstein.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's
God.
a bit.
Is it dank? It's gonna be dank memes, isn't it?
We're about to find out.
It's gonna be dank Carlos memes. Oh my god!
One of y'all can open your presents while I'm hitting up this URL.
All right,
Go for it, Nick.
I get to go first. It's a bag.
Oh, God.
Wait a second. What is this? No! Yes!
Look at you peeking on the mic. I thought you would like that.
A Zelda map puzzle. You know I love maps. You know I love puzzles.
And the
a copy
Division.
of the Division. Very nice, Chris.
Son of a bitch.
It's a YouTube video.
Oh man.
Well, open your
I
bag.
am.
That's a YouTube video of Carlos watching the podcast.
What if it was the current podcast?
Oh my god, this is a long video too.
What? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh,
If this is a Division shirt.
yeah, it's very long.
No, it's very metal.
I'll give
it's very
everyone
you.
the URL.
Oh, I see that. That's from
Oh,
the,
this is that fucking
that special trailer
that
they
fucking
made.
sweet
Yeah,
ass
what is
metal
that?
Dark
That's
Souls
fucking
shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is pretty fucking
That
sweet.
is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Holy shit.
I got plastic.
Pop it.
Only the finest.
That's not the
plastic.
poppable kind.
It's not the
The
fun.
one Dark Souls game I have not yet finished.
Well, when I
got
ordered it, I
more
figured
plastic.
you would have beaten it by now. With Robin's
Wait.
guidance, I thought you would have beaten it by now.
No, no. Not yet.
I'm glad that your present actually came in time this year. It arrived today.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Read it.
What is it?
Oh!
Nice.
The suspense is killing me, guys.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's a Stardew Valley t-shirt.
That's dope. That's
Tastes
actually
better
really
with Joja Cola. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why is she like sweating?
And you got him a copy of the Division, right?
Of course.
Okay. Just making sure.
He
I was
ordered
like,
the
no,
scathing
I
it.
spared Nolan. I mean, he's at this point he has spent.
Well, to be
Technically,
fair,
I've got a fourth unopened copy at home for Chris, but since he bought it used, I've got nothing to do with it.
Oh my goodness.
Could've
Wait,
given it
I
to
didn't see what
Carlos.
you got. What was your thing? Oh, a collection.
Should've
Ooh,
given
a
it to
puzzle.
Carlos.
Cool.
It's
Oh
it's
my
the.
god.
I think it's the overworld from Ocarina.
well,
Wait, no, it isn't.
Whoa. Let me be the judge.
No,
of
it's
that.
not.
actually
It's-
a combination. I mean, it's a.
Well, Ocarina didn't have a fucking ocean.
Let me see.
Oh, really?
No, but it
Which one is
looks
it,
kind of like
then?
the same. Like that's Lon Ranch in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lon
so
Ranch.
it's pretty close. It's just
Well,
it's a combination.
This
I
is
guess.
Ocarina of Time, but I mean, technically speaking, like this desert.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Thank y'all for the
Yeah,
pictures.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Some nice artwork to hang up.
You can't say no now.
If I don't play it this time, I'm officially the biggest asshole in the world. It was easier before when I knew he only paid a penny for it. Now I have to.
It's actually quite
Okay,
cool.
I guess we officially probably need to do like a 4-player Division night then at this point.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should.
It's a pretty fun game.
Dude, this would
Have
fucking
it
look
on
good
good
up on your
authority.
wall too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you like to put puzzles up on the wall and stuff.
Yeah,
This would look pretty good.
I thought that would be pretty good. And it's a 500 piece, so it should be a good
Actual
size.
size. So just multiply that by like.
This is cool because
25?
the puzzle won't be too difficult.
See, you
if
should
I'm
look-
knowledgeable about Zelda.
You should look up that brand. They have a lot of cool puzzles, and there are a lot of them are licensed from Nintendo.
Yeah, this is actually of all the different Zeldas. Because here's Wolflink over here, howling on a. And this is the swamp from Majora's Mask, right?
It's a sweet ass shirt.
It's a medium.
That's my size.
I
Okay,
believe this is the desert from
He got my size.
Twilight
I
Princess.
could have got you an XL, but I didn't think it'd like that.
You throw it out. I mean, I don't trust me, people throw it out. Do you know Goodwill will not accept Christmas trees because they get so.
This is from
big.
last week.
They just don't accept it.
What?
Is Carlos watching last week's podcast?
His Christmas present is that he actually watched a podcast for the first time.
All right, are we ready? Are we ready to get started?
I think so.
Things that happen. So
Yeah, this is cool. Thanks, Chris.
We can't even watch our footage, so that's
18 by 24.
Okay.
That is a good size.
Beautiful.
He's running late this evening, but he'll be here shortly. So for now,
The Division,
before
brought to you by 4Player Network.
Yes.
Was that Carlos?
So I met up with the artist the other day to get it signed.
Where was this again?
Well, so I go to Blue Genie every year.
I went there, by the way.
Blue Genie.
It's like an art bazaar where they sell a lot of stuff in it around Christmas time. Like a bunch of local artists,
store.
and craftsmen in place. They set up shops to like sell stuff, and I saw this guy's artwork there, and then I found out his stuff was at Blue Genie. Then that means he had to have been local. So then I contacted him and I was like, "Hey, can you sign this thing?" But I was talking to him and he was like, "Yeah, I did a Kickstarter for these originally because this is like a ode to id boss fights, and he did one for like Nintendo too with like from
Metroid,
Zelda,
Zelda,
Metroid,
and
and
what was the third one?
and
Mario.
Mario. And he was showing us like, "Yeah, I did this Kickstarter and like it was pretty successful, but like as soon as it was done, I was contacted by id's lawyers and they were like, okay, so it's done. Don't ever do this again." Yeah. But he was very nice.
Very nice. That's a very nice lawyer then. If that's like all they say, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, it was after the fact, so.
Well, you know about the Kickstarter that happened with the guy who's making that Doom-inspired isometric RPG, right?
Oh, I saw that. I don't know much.
Yeah, it was
about
inspired by Doom, but Bethesda contacted him and he had to like change all the language on there and remove any images from Doom.
Oh, he was using straight up images from Doom.
Well, like to talk about what the project is, not necessarily what's in the game.
Gotcha. So he couldn't directly tell them that it was inspired by Doom.
Yeah.
He's also he was the lead animator on that movie Scanner Darkly, the
Really?
Richard Linklater movie
Yeah.
with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that crazy like rotoscope.
No, yeah, no, I remember the look of it.
Crispy! Look what Chris Davis did! Look what he did!
Ugly Christmas sweater. Check this out. Huh? How's that?
It's not bad.
It's my first Christmas gift from Malia.
Ever?
Ever?
Ever, yeah.
She got you a Christmas gift this year for the first time ever?
I know, which
And you married her?
Yeah. How long had y'all been together?
Bye, Brad.
Oh, I think he just realized that.
Oh, God.
We just ruined his marriage.
Call 911.
Fucking Chris Davis.
But that gift's from Crispy too, so.
Yes, that's
from all of us. Yeah.
Those posters are from all of us.
Thank y'all.
Please,
Thank you
they're
for
art
the-
prints. Nick.
Thank you for
don't worry.
Thank you for the work that you do, even when you're not in here.
Don't
You're doing
worry
it.
though; those won't be useless in a few months.
Oh, what a low blow, Nolan! What a fucking low blow that was.
That's fucked up, dude.
That is fucked up. God damn it.
You could have played Inside like a week before it came out on PC.
Oh yeah.
Don't scoff at that. That's true.
You could have gameflied Recore. You know?
Hey,
you can't forget. You can't gamefly PC games.
That's true. You can't.
Dick.
Shut up.
You know what? I heard Gears of War is pretty good.
Okay.
Chris gave him a Winston Overwatch coffee mug.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really nice.
Sweet.
It's the first Blizzard product I've ever bought.
Ever?
Yeah.
Even I've purchased a Blizzard product. I don't play Blizzard games. I've bought a Blizzard.
I'm including Blizzard games too.
That's ridiculous. All right. Are we ready?
I saw a young Japanese woman.
Well, she gotta be Japanese.
Well, she was Japanese.
Oh.
Well, it was tournament footage. I saw it on YouTube. I see him pop up every now and then. And it was this young Japanese pro street Tekken fighter fighting Nii, who's this pro Korean player who's been playing Tekken professionally since I was playing back in the day, and that was like in 2000. So that was like 16 years ago, and he was dominating back then, and he was getting he was getting worked by this young Japanese lady who's, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you don't see that very often. A young lady.
I heard you see young ladies all the time.
I'm just gonna shut up.
I wish I was recording that.
Always be recording. God
I've been
damn.
recording this entire time.
All right, are we ready?
Yep.
All right, then we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Brad, you had a game
Oh, yes.
that you did not tell any of us about?
I wish you would just let that game die.
Wait, what game? I don't even know what game it is yet.
It's not Let It Die. Don't click that. That's not what we're going to talk
no,
about.
yeah.
Oh, maybe he didn't set up the footage. Oh, he did. Of course
Yeah,
he
I
did.
did.
I've been playing a game that I guess no one's really known about or anything.
I didn't even know this game existed.
Yeah, I got it for the 3DS. Okay, so it's called Gotta Protectors, which is a really weird name. And this game is developed by like an indie studio. I believe they're called Ancient. I think it was an indie studio that was formed by Yuzo Koshiro, who's a video game composer who's been doing music since like way back in the day. He did the soundtrack to fucking Streets of Rage 2, among other, or the first one. Or I don't know, but he's done music for like the East series. I mean, he's been doing all. I think his most recent stuff.
He's a veteran composer.
The most recent stuff that people know about is
Reborn.
The Etrian Odyssey series, which has really good music. Well, anyways, this is a downloadable game. Now, this is actually a sequel to a game that came out on XBLA. What is it? Xbox Live Indie Games. It was one of the first Xbox Live Indie games called Protect Me Night, I think it was called. And it was crazy. It was just like $1 back then, or like a few dollars. And that game was kind of a little more straightforward, not tower defensive, but you're protecting your castle that's being attacked by like hordes of enemies. But you could put up defenses. There's different like character classes, and in this one you can level them up. You get new equipment. I've been playing as an Amazon lady. You're looking at a trailer because I have no way of
I'm about
capturing
to say,
footage.
this is very well produced footage that you put
Yeah,
together
it
for
is.
us, Brad.
But it is like the music's very good and it's very arcadey. But you do like level your characters up and your classes up and your skills up and your abilities, and the further you get in the game, the more complex the levels are. There's over 100 levels in the game. I've probably only beaten like 15 of them. But it's surprising how they keep introducing like new mechanics and concepts, and it's a game that I just kind of I heard was pretty good. It got good reviews, but I think a lot of people just kind of want to throw. At first I was like, oh well, I know people like Yuzo Koshiro in this studio. It's crazy that this veteran composer like formed a studio and they've been making these indie games, but it's actually like really satisfying. Like I've been finding myself kind of just picking up my 3DS and sitting down and playing like a few levels of this like every day, just because it's kind of addictive and the mechanics are good enough. I play the Amazon. She has got this cool like boomerang axe, and you're just killing like hordes of guys, and there's different like enemy types, and you're like, it's I don't know how to describe it, but to say that it's kind of fun and addictive, and I kind of like the look of it. It's very...
You know what the look of it reminds me of? It reminds me of what's that strategy game on the DS that you always talk about coming back? Shit.
Final Fantasy Tactics?
No.
Not Fire Emblem.
No, Advance Wars.
Advance Wars.
Advance
It
Wars.
reminds me of like early Advance Wars.
Yeah. Or like Fire Emblem or something, or like old stuff
Yeah.
like that. But this is kind of an arcadey action game. But you're trying to protect the princess, who's like a physical character on the field. She usually hangs out in the in the little castle, which you can like level up and stuff, and you're ultimately trying to protect her and it. But you can push her around and stuff too, because like the closer you are, well, she'll heal you. She'll heal you, and the closer you are, like the further away from you get from her, you'll like level down and stuff. So you kind of want to stay near her, or you might just need to kind of. I mean, I don't know what to say about this game. It's such this weird little obscure game that I know no one's gonna play, and it's so weird and old and arcadey, but like it's surprisingly fun and addictive, and I don't know what other. I mean, the thing is, before the show, Nick was like, "Hey man, you didn't put down what you were playing," and I was like, "Nick, I've just been playing Let It Die," and
I called bullshit.
And I've been playing Let It Die, and I've been playing some Last Guardian, and like this is the only other thing I've been playing, but I've actually been playing kind of a lot of it, and it's fun. It's called God of Protectors. I think it was like $11 or something on the eShop, but it's good. And I don't.
Well, maybe there's anything more to say about it. I mean, that.
I just wish I could broadcast it, but even then, it's not even really like a broadcast-friendly game. It's just this is a great game to play on the toilet. Knock out a level or two, you know.
Are you playing this on the broadcast 3DS or?
No, I can't because it's a digital game and I bought it for my 3DS.
Oh.
And I can't move that over to Nolan's 3DS to broadcast
Unfortunately.
Because Nintendo.
So yeah, that's why we're watching a trailer.
Okay.
But it's got fucking kick-ass music and this kick-ass throwback style to it, and it's just kind of fast and fun and gotta Protectors. It's a very strange name.
And it's only available for 3DS as a digital download.
Correct. Yes.
Was the sequel? I mean, was the prequel, the first game, ever?
Protect Me Knight.
I mean, was it anything other than an indie game for XBLA?
I think it. Yeah, I don't think it ever moved off of that, or maybe it did. But the other way to play these games are like local co-op. And you can play this one local co-op, but I think you have to have. I mean, obviously you have to have more 3DSs. But the original was one you could get on the same 360 and play co-op. But it's kind of fun. It's fast and.
Is there a progression system?
Yeah, there is. I mean, you level up equipment. I mean, you get like fruits drop, from like enemies and stuff, and that's kind of like currency you use for like upgrading skills, for buying new weapons and weapon types.
Bisk says the Protect Me Night was on PC as well.
Oh wow!
Oh.
And again,
it's on Steam. Link it.
In the first one, I think it was just like Yuzo Koshiro's soundtrack, but in this one, he actually got a ton of veteran like composers from like that did music back in the day on a bunch of different games to do like tracks in this game. So like even though this is like this tiny little game that's no one's ever really heard of, that no one's gonna fucking buy, it's got this soundtrack from like this crazy soundtrack from all these like old school veteran composers, and it's actually pretty. It just sounds of that era, like in the best possible way.
How much was this again?
Brad's reliving
I think it was
glory days.
$11.
$11.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
I need a reason to actually play my 3DS. So.
Oh well, I mean, Chris Davis. There's plenty of like real 3DS games.
I know.
You could play. That's the thing. It's hard to recommend this over like. I don't know, the latest Fire Emblem or Bravely Default Second.
But I kind of need a 3DS game I can play while I'm working out for like 45 minutes an hour.
While he's
it's fun. It's fun. I like it.
So if it can fit that length for a match or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of handhelds, did y'all see that the limited run deal? I know Chris Davis linked it to me last week.
Yeah.
There was two things. One of which first of all they were doing Firewatch. You can get Firewatch on like PS4, which is cool. But the other one was Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath for Vita.
Well, it wasn't just Stranger's Wrath though. I think it was the
HD.
The new and tasty as well.
Oh, that I don't know. All I saw was Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath HD for Vita, like on a physical cartridge or whatever. I didn't get it though, but man, it was tempting.
Yeah,
because I love that game. All right. Well, are there any other games that we want to bring up?
I mean, I'll briefly touch on Let It Die. I know Brad's been playing a lot of it. I've been playing a decent chunk of it. That game, it's addictive.
How much more?
I think we've covered the addiction level.
Because when I've been playing, Nolan's been popping in the chat. He seems very knowledgeable. Either he has a spreadsheet open.
No, like I said, you asked me that question in chat, and I think it was a situation where I was like, I know that this material can be found on this floor, and it's mainly just because at one point, I wanted to upgrade a weapon, I couldn't find it.
I thought it was a roguelike.
It is, but
it is and it isn't.
Yeah, so there are certain floors where certain materials have a higher chance of spawning.
Gotcha.
It's not it's going to happen. It's just there's a higher chance. Yeah. I think I was either trying to upgrade something, and I know I needed that, so I found. And the funny thing is I actually recorded some footage locally on my PS4 because remember last week you were looking for some iron. I told you about a level that wasn't in your game.
Oh, yeah.
And I went home and it wasn't mine. And I found like a shit ton of iron. But
so what happens is
I understand the Tower of Barbs changes.
the Tower of Barbs changes on the floors on the sides of the main
Shaft.
the main shaft where the main elevator is. A lot of those will like change like every other day.
Yeah.
Where they are and how to get to them.
Yes.
Why? It's not that funny. Where's the joke? I'm just saying, where's the joke? But like a lot of times the like those side floors, which are harder to get to because you're not near an elevator shaft, will often have better rewards and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
Tell me about the jackals. Y'all were talking about jackals.
I got killed by a jackal.
I don't know what that means.
I don't remember what floor they introduced them, but all of a sudden you're kind of going around and you see these like elite looking guys have like really cool looking outfits and
Wait,
there's a cutscene.
Are you explaining how they work? Or?
I'm explaining how they're introduced to you.
Okay.
A cutscene and there's a guy that has like a fucking yo-yo that has like fucking lasers coming out of it and stuff. And like Uncle Death is like, hey, those are the jackals. They're like the cleanup crew. So you go through the world and you kill enemies. And they turn into like fungus or whatever. And so the jackals are body collectors. After you've gone, they come back and they clean up the bodies. But the thing is, they're like really elite levels, like things like level 200.
Yeah. They'll one-shot you.
And so, they will one-hit kill you. And if you stay on a floor for too long after killing the enemies, an alarm goes off, letting you know the jackals
siren,
are coming.
yeah,
A siren.
fucking, and when you hear that siren, you fucking run. Because
run.
you can't kill them.
Yeah.
So
apparently
you
someone
can,
did.
but you have to be very
Apparently
high level.
someone, like their game glitched and a jackal got stuck on a wall and they punched it to death. And apparently it took 14 hours.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Because I think
And it glitched. They didn't get the reward either.
Yeah.
Oh,
because the
fuck.
reward was like in the wall, or they didn't get maybe they didn't. I don't know. Whatever.
That
anyway,
would just be the worst.
But think of like
The developer. Everyone was
They ended up
talking about like
patching
the
it,
ode to Linda because the character was called Linda, and it became like a big thing online. And like the developer saw, and they like sent him like a gift package or whatever because he didn't even get the reward for killing him.
But are these enemies automatically aggressive or are they passive?
No, they're aggressive.
So
Okay,
if you ever
okay.
played Spelunky and you stay on a floor too long,
Like death,
that
the ghost comes,
appears. That's like a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
They're
essentially that.
They're essentially like that.
Okay.
But Nick, you played Witcher 3.
I did
Did you ever take on any enemies that were like significantly higher level than you?
a few times.
And you know, so that you didn't do a whole lot of damage to them. And it's kind of like that, like the
Where you hit them and you suddenly realize I shouldn't be here right now.
yeah, no. So it's kind of like that in this game.
I shouldn't be doing this.
The higher level an enemy is to you, like you'll often do less damage, but as soon as you're like high, it's kind of like there's like this weird percentage. Just being slightly more powerful, you do a lot more damage. Kind of like that with the jackals, like where even if you're a high level enemy and you're doing a normal enemy, you would hit and do like 600 damage to, like a jackal, you'll do like 10 damage.
Oh.
It's a
Well, they have higher defense.
Well, they have higher
their
defense, and they have
armors
higher
will be
armor,
up,
and
yeah.
they have higher. All their stats are higher, and so there is, a quest in the game to kill a jackal, but I don't think it's like feasible as of this moment, unless your game glitches, like happened to that guy.
Well, no, people are doing it through mushroom exploiting.
So they have done it,
like
through-
damage boost plus invisibility.
Mhm. Oh, I guess I could see that. Well, they'd have to have a shit ton of mushrooms. But yeah. So I mean, you were asking how far I am. You fought the level 20 boss today, right?
Yeah.
I'm on that floor, but I haven't fought that boss yet. So
Well, I've been really futzing around trying to get like equipment sets and level that stuff up. I mean, you can play this game in such a way where like Jager told me he's played for like 22 hours and he's on floor 27, and that he got kind of like turned off because it was just getting too hard. But like I'm 50 hours in and I'm on level like 23.
How many floors are there?
It's 40.
as of right now, there's 40.
40.
There are plans to go up to 128 or something like that, or whatever.
I'm not sure, but I
They're
think
gonna
those
make
are
you
like
pay for those
ultimate
floors?
distant plans.
That's just
plans.
as the game goes farther and they develop it more.
But I
they
think
will
you
add it.
complete the story at level 40.
Yeah.
I mean, there are like there's a story. There are bosses. The fucking guy. No one told me it was a Jindai modification, but I guess that makes sense because the first real boss was like a modification of
Cohen?
Cohen.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I'm wondering if floor 30 boss is gonna be
Jindai again?
no, not Jindai. Fucking Grotto. What's his name? Grotto or Goto?
Oh, the spider guy?
Yeah, the spider guy with
yeah,
a fucking
I don't
head
know.
on it.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a really good game. I don't know how many hours in. I haven't checked recently. But
This game just hit us with a vengeance.
addictive.
Oh yeah, no, it did.
Fuck,
And so
man.
I'm taking more of your style, Brad, where I've maxed out now hammers and machetes and the nail gun.
That's surprisingly powerful.
Yeah, it can.
But
be.
it's useless against haters because it doesn't slow them down.
Correct, but the what you're talking about, taking advantage of mushrooms. If you like kill a scorpion, you get the sling shroom, and then you cook it, and you do like 200% damage or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you can do a lot of damage with the nail gun.
This game's so surprisingly deep. It's very.
Yeah, I could tell.
There's never been a deep game from Grasshopper. That's.
I could tell how someone could get addicted to it, and I could also see how someone could maybe get a little jaded with it. Just because you are doing, very, very similar things. It is very grindy. You're doing the same style floors, and every once in a while they'll change them up, but they're still fairly similar.
Would calling the game like one giant Persona dungeon be accurate?
It's not too far from the truth.
Because every time I watch the footage, I feel like I'm watching another floor on the same dungeon.
Well, I mean, the thing is, this is the footage from last week.
Yeah.
But like, I'm on a.
But to that regard, Persona dungeons, as you get through the blocks, they change, and it's exactly like this.
Yeah,
Each
but I
block
mean, there's no like real level design to a Persona dungeon.
Correct. They're very plain, but similar to this, they are procedurally generated.
So maybe these are more detailed and more.
Yes.
There might be more design put into them.
Oh, for
but,
sure.
yes.
For sure.
But it does like. You're even calling them floors. You're going floor to floor to
Yeah,
floor.
no,
It
it's
just
floor in a tower. But
just
like,
remains-
but I'm saying
yeah.
like I'm in a like right now I'm in a demented amusement park like tile set.
Not here. When Brad was playing today.
Like I can't stress enough how much cooler the world looks where I am versus like where this is. Like when you first start the game, you're like in the sewers and it looks real drab, but you get to some cool looking shit. There's like fucking creepy ass clowns and stuff everywhere, and it doesn't get more like it also gets more elaborate with like the traps and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's that's kind of what's keeping me going. Like when I get a little tired of the grind, I try to push forward and get to like a new
area,
some new areas.
Section, you find new items and stuff like. And that's weird. I think
scratch that progression itch a
I
little
don't know
bit
if we
and then
talked
go right
about
back
it
into the grind.
Yeah, I don't know if we talked about it last week on the feed. I was talking about it with somebody that it's the whole like meta game of determining when I should be grinding, working on the levels I'm at to acquire new materials to level up my weapons versus when I should be trying to push farther. Like in something like a Souls game, you never have that debate. You're always kind of slowly moving forward. You might have to replay an area a couple of times. Yeah. But in this, it's very Souls-esque, how you approach combat and how you can kind of like max out a character. And then it's weird in this though, because you have a character like this character of Brad. I can't tell if maybe they're maxed out, but I almost feel guilty when I'm traveling around with a maxed out character because I'm not making any progress on a character.
But then again, you push forward, unlock that next tier.
Well, yeah, but then the problem with that is I feel like if I'm going to start a new character, I can't be making progress in the tower because you have to kind of back down a few levels, otherwise you'll get like one hit killed.
Yeah,
with a newer character. So it's that whole like meta of when I should be like suspending time.
There's a lot of meta in this game. It actually, it's Dark Souls in combat style, but I would compare this more to like a Diablo 2 or like a Castlevania Harmony of Despair. It has those kinds of hooks. It does loot right where you really what's out there. And you really want it because it teases you. You pick up pieces.
Yeah.
That like fucking look cool. That seem really powerful. You're like, oh man, I fucking want that. Like when I picked up the knight armor and all these badass spikes coming out, I was like, oh my god, I gotta find that fucking blueprint. I gotta find those materials because that looks dope as shit. And I feel like that's the sign of a really good loot system where you see dope, and it works like that in Dark Souls too, where you'll see enemies that have like some dope ass like sword or armor set, and you're like, I bet. If I kill this guy enough, we'll start dropping that equipment.
And it is like that.
And knowing what's out there is the hook.
And because every weapon in this, no matter if you build it or find it, it breaks eventually. That's like when you find it in the wild, it's a very like low. You only get like less than half use out of it. But yeah, like Brad's saying, it's like a taste. Like the first time I found like the claws. And I put those on. I was like, holy shit, I want to fucking find the blueprint so I can craft these claws. But of course, I use it a few times and it breaks. So it's like that fucking little taste of what potentially could come, and you got to keep playing to get it. Like,
Oh
yeah,
my god! And
it's-
I've been seeing some of the later game weapons and some of the blueprints. I got blueprints for like an electric rapier and a pitching machine.
I found a pitching.
You know, like go to a batting cage.
So it like just shoots
shoots
fucking baseballs. Yeah.
You carry that around?
Yeah. It's like a mini machine with two wheels and it shoots the balls out. And then like the final like the rage move or whatever, where you just go up to a point like shooting balls in their face or whatever.
Yeah. Shooting balls in
Gator
the
was
face.
showing off one where you could get a
can ride it.
motorcycle and,
Yeah.
and drive over people.
Yeah.
This sounds sweet, guys. I really should play this
what
game
keeps
at
me
some
going,
point.
man. That's what keeps me going.
Maybe I'll actually download it tonight now that I have my wallet with me.
There you
You know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't have to walk upstairs for it.
Yeah.
All right,
And
let's.
I'm now spending another $5 on this game.
I'm still at 0.
That's impressive.
And I have 5 day passes.
I
that
don't feel
haven't
bad.
used yet.
Like I said, if they sold decal packs, if they sold express passes, which they will eventually.
Yeah.
30-day express pass.
Yeah. How much do you think that was going to be? $20?
Like at least, right?
Yeah, it's got to be a decent chunk of change.
No, I think like $10 for
30 days though.
Do you think Sony knew what they had on hand?
No,
I don't think they did.
I don't think
I really
anyone
don't
knew.
think they did.
I think maybe Gung Ho knew.
Yeah.
See, that's what people are underestimating. Grasshopper, it's hard to expect something like this out of them. But Gung Ho is a very successful mobile company, developer and publisher in Japan. Like they're big. They have a ton of money, and like they've got free to play down right in this, and you could tell like what's coming, and it's shocking. I'm hoping that this game is going to be quite successful for them because if this was not free to play,
Dude,
no one would care
I'm
about
90% sure they probably already made more money on this than they did like Shadows of the Damned.
oh yeah, I think all their games. I'm just waiting for when I see that press release from them because I
Yeah.
want to hear good news.
Yeah.
All right, well let's. We only have like one news topic that is.
Just one.
And I don't even know if it's something we need to discuss a whole lot because I know we got some.
Well, Chris
we
Davis
got
is
some.
here.
We got some
Represent.
questions from our patrons. I know we want to get to some Christmas themed questions. I think.
Well, let's get to the news topic real
But
quick.
the news topic I wanted to just briefly bring up has to do with Crytek. We all know Crytek.
We do.
They're known for Crysis. They're known for, among other things, like most recently, I played through Robinson: The Journey in VR. Very small, VR-focused project. I know they've been doing a lot of smaller projects lately, but news broke this week that Crytek is shutting down many of their studios. In fact, I think they're leaving only 2 studios open. I think one's in Germany and one might be in the UK.
Well, Frankfurt is the headquarters, so they're not going to shut that one down.
Gotcha. So there's one in Frankfurt and there's one
Yeah,
in...
they're
Where's the
keeping
other
the
one?
Warface studio open. You think Warface is successful? You never know with these fucking free to play games.
fucking
You find
Warface.
some weird European country that it's like their national treasure,
I think the other
and
one's in
they
the
keep
Ukraine.
a game afloat.
I think the other one's in the Ukraine.
Dude, Warface, it had an excellent announcement trailer, and then just the game turned out to be complete
But like,
shit.
you know what game is like one of these free to play games that's like surprisingly ridiculously successful? That
Other than
Warframe.
Oh, Warframe.
Warframe, yeah.
Yeah, which remember when that came out? Like,
Vaguely.
yeah,
Yeah.
But apparently, it built like this crazy, like dedicated community.
It's got a decent sized community.
That's weird. But yeah, so Crytek is shutting down all but 2 of their studios, and they're refocusing their efforts on one, obviously CryEngine. That's their engine.
They had 7.
They had 7. Yes,
They had 7 fucking studios.
They should have
I didn't
5
realize they
of
had
them.
7 studios.
Yeah,
They had Free Radical, which became Crytek UK, which became Dam Buster, which made Homefront: The Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rescued Vigil and turned it into Crytek USA.
They rescued,
And then they shut that down last year.
Vigil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys who made Darksiders.
Wow, I thought they rescued them and
Yeah.
they shut it down. They
Yeah.
shut them down. Oh, they also rescued what's it called? The Time Splitters guys.
Oh.
Free Radical, yeah, which is Dam
Free
Buster.
and
which
they're
is-
gone too now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Well,
that's
no,
left is
Dam
Germany and the
Busters-
Ukraine, I believe.
Dam Busters still exists. They work under Deep Silver now.
That's what I wanted to
So the
But
weird
they-
thing is they're refocusing on CryEngine and what they're calling premium IPs, which to me, when Crytek talks about premium IPs, the only thing that comes to mind is Crysis.
Yes. Crysis is probably, in my opinion, the only good thing they've ever worked on. They made a decent effort on Rise. They shit the bed on Warface. They put out Robinson the Journey, which is not going to be profitable.
Well, everyone's
No,
saying
no.
there's no money in VR.
There's no money.
is
There's
scary.
not going to be money in VR for at least 3 years.
There's gonna be yeah. I mean, the thing
For
is, you
pure
have to,
VR games.
You have to wait for big AAA game producers, publishers to take chances on VR and produce games that are completely made. Like Capcom is already taking, a big chance by putting Resident Evil entirely in VR. But we need more studios to do things like that
But
for it to catch on.
it drives me insane that this organization can have 8 studios at once, and they aren't capable of putting out a game every year, if not every 2 years. They couldn't do it.
No.
That's incredible to me.
It is, but at the same time, like you hear about there's also been a lot of drama surrounding Crytek. You've had the issues with them having trouble
Multiple
paying
times in which they couldn't pay their employees.
They couldn't pay their employees, which happened as recently as last week.
Yeah.
So this is obviously in response to this. They're having some. I mean, part of that has to do with the fact that they have 8 studios and they don't have enough games to keep that thing afloat.
Yeah, that's
So
a lot.
How is
So
that?
shutting down all but 2 of their studios and focusing on their successful IP seems like a smart move. It seems like something they probably should have done.
It's absolutely what they had to do.
Yeah, they have. Like I would rather this happen than have Crytek just gone.
Yeah. Because the CryEngine isn't a bad engine, but they should have focused on offering that as a proper competitor to Unity and UE4.
Yeah.
Because those engines, they're cheap, they're easy to develop on,
Yeah.
and they have very good
And
support.
CryEngine is looked about as like a premium engine, right? Isn't it? Kind of. Is it? I mean,
They offer a similar developer support plan with it, but it's not as strong as UE4 or Unity.
It's also not like free.
Yeah.
Right? Which
No.
These other are offering like plans that are like initial. There's like no
Like
buy-in.
like Unity, I believe UE4 has it to where as long as if you don't sell the game for a profit, for money, then I don't think you have to pay that many licensing fees.
or like none or something.
Or
like
none.
that. Something crazy like that.
Yeah. What CryEngine tried to offer was you pay a fee up front, and then if you sell your game, you pay less than the others, evidently.
so the thing about this and the thing about Crytek, I've always wanted to see what Crytek could do if they would pool all their efforts and put it into something just like another AAA franchise,
Like Rise.
No, I'm
Son of
talking. They've done a lot of experimentation with things like Rise, and it
Homefront:
seems
The
like
Revolution.
things like Robinson.
There
Like,
is one major game that's in development right now that is using CryEngine that I can think of, and that's Star Citizen. But that game is at least another 6-8 months out before
Yeah.
we even get the single player module.
But what this tells me is that in order to, recoup a lot of their losses.
What?
There's a significant lag
What?
in the video.
It's just the nature of the capture card he has.
It's
Okay.
a lot more than
Well,
normal.
That's
Sorry.
weird, but well,
Because I saw chat talking about lag.
Okay, yeah, it's about a half second.
weird.
It's never that bad though.
That is weird.
It's speeding up.
Okay, stop
Well, it won't be
hitting
that
me.
bad for the final thing.
Let me get this
Okay.
thought out.
Anyway,
Crytek. What this?
Jagger says he's not seeing.
God
it.
damn it, you're killing me.
I don't think that's how it works.
Crytek. What this tells me, I've always wanted to see them try and do something like another triple, like start a new franchise. Like they created something cool with Crysis. Want to see them do that again. But what this tells me is that in order to recoup, like they're taking this drastic action, they're going to have to recoup their losses. Like it tells me that they're probably going to crank out another Crysis game before we ever see anything original. from them
I
again.
don't think they're going to do that. I think what they're going to do is they'll refocus on CryEngine, trying to sell it as a marketable product, but they'll focus on making technology demonstration games for it, like Crysis 1.
Yeah.
Now, I don't expect it to have that sense of awe and wonder as the first Crysis game or even Far Cry when that first came out.
Man, Crysis 1 was fucking cool.
Crysis, the series as
Because
a
it was
whole is
open.
really good.
Yeah, but
Two people complained about the level design because it was set in New York. I understand that.
the thing is-
But 3 did some really cool things.
2 and 3 are great, but
Good,
they're
not great.
2 and 3 are solid games, but they are also linear as fuck.
Not 3, not so much. Not as much.
When compared to Crysis 1, which was
Compared to
essentially like
Crysis 1,
Far Cry was a fucking
that-
open
it's,
island.
It's apples and oranges with Crysis 1 versus 2 and 3.
True.
Same series though.
But
Yeah.
anyways, they're taking drastic action. I'd love to see. I'm curious to see what this means, what they're going to do next. Because we can speculate. They're obviously going to focus on CryEngine, but I want to see I'm more curious to know what their plan is with premium IP, quote unquote.
I think that's a marketing term to say they're going to
yeah.
just, again, try and focus on technology demonstration games.
Probably so.
Do that. It looks like it's not lagged, but that's only because
You're doing the same motion. Yeah. Speaking of technology,
it actually looks like it's a mirror.
You're killing me, Brad. What do you do?
did y'all hear about CD Projekt Red?
No.
The Polish
This
government,
drives me nuts.
The Polish government gave CD Projekt Red $7 million to research city creation, seamless multiplayer, cinematic feel, and animation excellence.
Whatever that
That
means.
drives me nuts.
So just
The
essentially,
scientists at CD Projekt
Your
Red.
game developers, we're going to give you money to learn how to make games.
make them better.
I don't want them to be working on multiplayer shit.
And so
though.
that almost to an extent worries me. I'm glad CD Projekt Red just got $7 million. That's good for them.
Maybe the
But didn't they get a shitload from Witcher, though?
Probably.
Yeah, but
Uh,
this is more money
Yeah.
which means maybe they can get out Cyberpunk
what
2077
they're really
sooner.
talking
But the
about.
thing I'm worried about in that regard is they didn't give this money for them to make Cyberpunk 2077. They gave them this money to do this research, and I don't think they would just let that go to their heads and not work on their games and stuff like that. I just don't know how that's going to affect it
well, I mean, what they were.
Development of Cyberpunk.
or their any future game from
Yeah.
them.
The key thing that they were saying that this money is going towards is seamless multiplayer integration.
Yeah.
I don't really want that in my game in my CD Projekt
Hey,
Red.
I mean, it's,
Well,
it's just
I'm
it's
thinking,
like
like-
a grant. I mean, they don't even
Yeah.
need the money probably.
No,
but-
yeah, they don't. I'm just saying.
Not after the
It
success of
happened.
The Witcher.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that game was insane.
Yeah, but I mean, Cyberpunk's been in development for a while now. It's probably a lot of people working on it. It's expensive.
And
For sure.
the Witcher games have been pretty good. What's to say that a multiplayer component to it, like co-op, that seamlessly integrated into Cyberpunk, couldn't be good too.
I just want to see. I would like to see Cyberpunk. Like, I swear to God, if the first
If we
thing-
ever see it,
if the first thing we ever see of Cyberpunk 27 is like multiplayer, I'm gonna gag.
You know what I want to see in Cyberpunk? I want to see a really good loot system, good skill system. That's what I want to see.
you know what I want to see?
I want them to play Let It Die because they effortlessly created.
You know,
the
there are
most
other
addictive-
games out there with good combat and loot systems.
Well, sure.
I just want to see the game. I just want to see this fucking
Yeah,
game.
I do too. But I think it's coming. I think this
No,
is
it
the
is.
E3 where we
It
see
is.
it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. That's all we got to talk news wise. Let's
Yeah.
jump straight into
The
the community.
The community.
You know, that very nice community.
The
The hell's going on? That very nice community that has pooled together to raise money for us to go to an escape room for Christmas. Thank
I'm
you.
excited. That's a good Christmas present.
And certain people who provided you with dinosaur erotica.
And certain people who provided me with dinosaur erotica.
yeah, those are people.
Those are.
So let's just jump straight into some questions from our
Let's
patrons.
do it. Didn't we have a new patron?
We did have one new patron, Osama A.
Osama A.
Osama
A is
A.
the first initial, but I don't ever say their last
I
name.
thought it was a different letter. Osama A. Thank you for supporting
Yes, we
us
had one
on
new
Patreon.
Thank God it's not Osama BL.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
I think we all
No, you're
thought
not.
that joke
You're
in our
not.
head. but
I'm
I think-
sorry.
I thought all
I'm
of us had-
sorry.
I thought all of us had the good
I'm
sense to not say it
sorry.
out loud.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Then he'd be a zombie. Because Osama bin Laden is dead.
Dude, I remember the day that happened. One of my best friends from high school called me, and he was like, "Did you hear? We got him." And I was like, "What's going on?"
I haven't talked to you in years. What are you doing?
4 months after they killed him, The Onion did a day-long event in which a 200-foot Osama bin Laden rises from the Atlantic Ocean and starts destroying New York. And they were live tweeting it, and they were posting articles.
God.
It was the funniest damn shit.
All right. First question
Leave it
this
to the
week
Onion.
from Nick the Batman.
Nick the Batman.
How did each of you find out Santa wasn't real?
I'm pretty sure I had a sneaking suspicion, and I asked my parents, like, "Hey, so it's not Santa, is it?" And they're like, "No."
It's probably my older brothers.
But I think that was the same Christmas where I got Final Fantasy. Like, Final Fantasy 7.
I thought you were gonna say like the same Christmas I got Final Fantasy 13.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Is that you discovered Santa was fake, and the same Christmas you started playing Final Fantasy. This is why 9 is.
No, I think it's when I got my. No, this is a Christmas where I got my N64.
Your Spyro game.
N64. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't remember. Well, I don't fucking know.
The year Jurassic Park came out,
93?
and they were doing. I guess it was 93. Yeah.
98.
Yeah. So I was.
Jurassic Park.
7 or 8,
whatever it was.
Yeah, I was. We were up at my granddad's, and I was playing hide and seek with my brother, and I found the closet where they were hiding all the
full
toys.
Of Christmas gifts. Oh my God, Santa's hiding his gifts in this closet.
I had a sneaking suspicion at the time, so I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night when they were at like 4 a.m. when they were bringing in the rest of the presents. Trying to keep it from us.
Your family up at 4 a.m. Fuck that.
They were trying to be sneaky.
They were trying to be sneaky.
What about y'all?
I don't remember when I found out Santa. I have vivid memories of us
Cobra.
putting out like cookies and milk and carrots for the reindeers. We
Carrots?
would put out carrot sticks for the reindeers.
Did your parents wake up in the night and eat a carrot?
I guess so.
Disappointing.
And cookies and carrots, Brad.
Okay.
Oh!
And I remember...
I'd be like, looks like Santa didn't bring his reindeers this year. Fuck these carrots.
I remember...
Hey, DHL.
I had a repressed memory that just popped back into my head.
Huh.
I caught my parents putting presents under the tree. That's what...
I don't remember when I found out he wasn't real, though.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was always easy for us because what they did is...
If they saw you up in the middle of the night, there's chloroform.
No. all the presents for Santa were unwrapped and opened and set out on like the fireplace.
The ones
whatnot.
for Santa?
No, the ones from Santa.
From Santa.
But then my parents would also give me gifts that were wrapped in under the tree. Mm-hmm. So all the toys would just be out there and open.
All the toys were just sitting in the fireplace.
There was no packaging. Because Santa would not put something in a package.
Santa just dropped them down the chimney. They're just all on the base of the fireplace.
Santa ain't got time.
All my G.I. Joes would be like in their vehicles, just fucking sitting out and shit.
One day there's just like a melted G.I. Joe in the fire.
Not in the fireplace.
Santa forgot to check if the fire was going.
Did y'all ever see the comic of it's like a cartoon of Santa in his workshop with the elves making toys, and there's one elf that has like a bunch of like Lord of the Rings figures on his table. And it's like good job. John's already completed all of his Gandalf toys. How are your Bilbos coming? And the other elf's over here holding a dildo. He's looking at his eyes like, oh God.
Shantae says my mom straight up told me Santa wasn't real, then told me not to ruin kids' imaginations.
It's like, I don't care about your imagination, just don't ruin it for the other kids. Oh, that's pretty funny.
All right, next question this week from Mr. Green Toast.
Sorry. One more thing on the Santa thing is like when anybody have little younger siblings,
yes,
like fucking kids are like terrible actors. Yeah. So it's like when your parents say, okay, my little brother Steven, he still believes in Santa, so don't tell him that Santa's fake. And then when you do that, me and my older brothers were like, oh man, I can't wait for Santa to come. He's totally real. Like kids are shit actors.
Yeah, especially kids in Heavy Rain.
Yeah, they really suck too.
Press X to chase him.
I want a strawberry chewy. Or what was the fucking...
Something like that. Yeah. All right, anyway, Mr. Green Toast. Which game had some of the best usage of Christmas? We kind of talked about this a little bit last week. It could be an outfit, a chapter, or hell, the whole game itself. For example, Parasite Eve starts off during Christmas Eve, which is quite cool for an action survival horror game to start off on.
Two games I can immediately point to are Dead Rising 4, which, as cheesy as the nature is, the music in that game, the Christmas songs, they're actually quite good.
I think that was my favorite part of the demo when I played it.
Yeah.
I would say anything with the good snow... Oh, go ahead.
And then The Division, actually.
I would say anything with a good snow theme probably feels real Christmassy. Mm-hmm. I know there's like Christmas Nights from the Sega Saturn. There's actually, I believe Costume Quest came out with like Christmas DLC.
I know it's not Christmassy, but in Witcher 3 you have a snowball fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
That's a great moment. Yeah. I would say that
I know.
Maybe playing something like what was the RPG throwback that came out earlier this year? I Am Setsuna, which is like
Setsuna,
all
yeah.
snow for the
Yeah.
entire game.
Oh,
Would probably
fuck,
be
I
a good one
I have
to play
that. I
during
need to finish that.
Christmas.
River Mall SMG.
You know, I know I said this last week, but I don't know if I said it exactly in this context. But like, for whatever reason, I got it for Christmas, and there's a lot of snow levels in it, or several snow levels that are really iconic to me. I remember very thoroughly. But like, GoldenEye to me has always been a Christmas game. Like the original GoldenEye, when I think of Christmas, my mind immediately jumps to GoldenEye 64 because I got it. That's like one of my most memorable Christmas gifts. I remember playing through the satellite level, which is out in the big snow area. I think I mentioned that last week.
How the Saints Stole Christmas was Christmas DLC for Saints Row 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That was good DLC.
I will say one that isn't very good is the fucking Hitman level. You know, it looked
That's a
nice
shame.
that they put a lot of Christmassy stuff in there, but it seems so lazy. I mean, yeah.
I mean, they just finished production on the first season. They're working on season
Sure,
2.
sure.
I think more
Give 'em a
games
break.
need Christmas levels.
I think
just-
in that regard, they shouldn't put out something half-assed and make a big stink of like, oh, Christmas, and then it's like barely they spent a couple hours on it.
It killed my boner
mean,
a little bit. It killed my boner a little bit because I was kind of high on it after finishing those last few levels.
I
and-
kind of want a Christmas horror game.
Dead
There's
Rising?
got to be some.
I'm sure there's something.
No,
like
but
that.
I want
a
something
good one.
new. Like,
yeah.
I want
I think I read
There's
on
probably
one
like
the
some
other day.
indie game. Like, I think there's a Krampus game on Steam.
No, but I want like a
Krampus?
new. I want like
Krampus.
a experienced, like well-known, well-respected developer to make a new horror IP that just happens to take place during Christmas.
Did y'all watch that Krampus
No.
movie from last
I
year?
heard it was
No.
good. Or
You should
decent.
watch it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
The director for it is working on a.
We gotta move on. Questions.
Okay,
There's lots of
okay,
questions.
Questions.
Coach Coco, with Hitman's elusive target and Christmas event patches that are free to play, do you think future games would feel more inclined to add these types of content enhancement patches instead of making them paid DLC?
Elusive targets is a really great idea. I think.
So and so that's something we talked about this a little bit, and yeah, and like and it's something that I originally brought up when we were kind of worried about this, and it kind of answered my fears, in that this game is rife for the ability to just make small changes that really change how the game works, and that's kind of what they've been doing with like elusive targets and stuff like that.
No, I think that. I think it really depends on the type of game that they're doing and how that content release schedule's done. If it's like a full $60 release, all at once, then yeah, you could do that.
I don't see that happening.
If it's like an episodic expansion thing like Hitman, I think it's more apt for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's more likely because, when the first episode of Hitman, when Paris came out, I don't think they had finished Japan. I don't know how much they'd even worked on.
There's no way they finished it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's easier in that regard. If you were to put out a game, like, I don't know, something you've been working on for a while, let's just say No Man's Sky. I don't see them constantly putting out free DLC for that because, they spent so much time working on such an expansive game. That's almost like, you put the kibosh on it, you put the, it goes gold and then maybe you fix a few. I just don't see that happening.
There's also questions of how the game is
Yeah,
funded.
it's also even the style of game. Hitman is
the
like you
mode
said.
of play.
Hitman is a perfect game for that because you have multiple like levels. That it's not like some linear game where you just play through it. So I mean, I think it depends on the style of
But
game.
this past year and the year before, we've been seeing changes to how DLC is coming out. Like a lot of developers are moving away from like map-based content for DLC, being paid.
Like Final Fantasy 15, I think would be great for DLC like that. I think that'd be very easy to add new hunts and new stuff like that. I think
I
that'd
heard
be,
the Cup Noodles quest is like fucking good.
I didn't finish that one.
So, I think it's DLC or something.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know what it is, but I heard somebody talking about on a podcast where
I thought it
there's
was early on in the
there's
game,
a quest
actually.
for like cup of noodles.
Well,
or
there's a
cup
quest
noodles.
where you go and buy cup noodles.
I have
But
cup
like,
noodles.
there's like cup noodles like equipment. I saw like a cup noodles hat. And
There's Cup Noodles
and they're
clothing.
like laying on the product placement like super thick and it's supposed to be real funny.
All right, moving on. Gonzo Lude. What Hitman level would you create? What would be the setting, target, the ways you kill them, etc.?
Fucking dog. This is my,
man.
like I could like talk all day on like fantasize about amazing Hitman levels. That is the most just as cool as that Hitman game is. The best level design in the series.
Still
but
blood money.
still no. I'm saying like this new one has some of the best level design, freedom to do all these different things, but like the settings are kind of boring compared to like how a lot of them were in Blood Money. Like I feel like it's wasted potential. They should get crazier and crazier. If season 2 doesn't have some loco shit, or some inspired shit, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Oh, I think I know exactly what I would
because
make.
there's so much potential.
I would make a New Year's Eve Times Square level in which one of the special kills is literally dropping the Times Square ball on them.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be
you
cool.
can, it's so easy to do. It's
Yeah,
so.
there's lots of stuff you could do.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Any ideas?
What the fuck?
Oh my god!
How did you open the door?
The dog has learned.
Oh god, they're learning.
It's too late now.
Can you reach over and close the door?
No,
now
just get out of here.
Hide.
Can you get
Go
out,
away.
please? Go down.
You gotta be
You
forceful.
can't
Get out.
negotiate with the
Don't
dog.
talk
Hide.
gentle.
Down. This podcast has been invaded. I like how he very gingerly walks around all the stuff we've.
I wonder how he figured
thrown on
that
the
out.
floor.
Anyway,
what popped.
yeah,
Anyways.
dude, that's a tough question. I think there is a lot of potential for like Brad's saying, anything, and you can think of anything crazy.
Oh,
any
God.
kind of
Amusement park?
any
I mean,
park. Yeah,
I mean,
oh my god,
fucking
that would be
amusement park.
amazing. An amusement park, fucking rigging the roller coaster to go
Yeah.
off the tracks.
How
like,
has that not been done?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
It's
like
because they're trying to be too grounded, and that's the last thing they
dude,
should
fucking like a Sea World, and like your target's like the trainer, and you fucking teach the whale to eat him. Like whatever. Dude, there's so much
Anything.
potential.
Anything.
For a Hitman game. And yeah, I agree with you that while this one is good, it's like they played it so safe.
So boring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
There should be a prison level.
Set-
Like think of the fucking the Heaven and Hell level.
yes.
Like,
Yeah, that was
such
so
a-
good.
Like such a good level. Like there's
Oh, the
yeah.
Shark Tank was so
I
entertaining.
loved the fucking
Dude, there should be
witness protection.
Dude, there
program.
should be a Hitman level at E3. Like literally, like just don't
Yes.
even sugarcoat it.
At
Just
E3,
like
yes.
it's
Yeah.
at E3, like map out like the actual convention center
Yeah.
and have E3 you going at the convention center and have that be the level. Like you have to
a
take out
haunted house.
and then have
Where
have
a fucking haunted house
Oh, that's
where you could take the
good.
outfits of various monster creatures that
Oh,
are
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
oh my god.
All right, moving on from Nathan Murray. My dog's been very naughty this Christmas, chewing on all sorts of things, including Christmas packages for my family. What are your worst holiday stories?
worst
Worse, like
holiday
bad
stories.
holiday
Yeah.
stories.
Oh,
That's
God.
not a good
I don't
topic.
think I have any holidays like
Holiday horror stories.
Well, I know what it was. I was okay. I fucking know the shit out of this. Okay.
You know the shit out of it.
okay.
When I was in college, I would come home for the holidays, and then I would work at because I used to work at a movie theater like before I went to college. Or I used to work during the summers, but when I come home for the holidays, I would also work at the movie theater for that week or two that I was at home, just to get some extra spending money. And there was one Christmas where I got two things happened. One, the paycheck right before Christmas was delayed because it was like physical checks, and it was like because of the bad weather, we didn't get our checks that day. And I was waiting for that check to buy all my Christmas presents because, I didn't have a lot of spending money. I was a fucking poor college student. And it was delayed, and the check wasn't going to come till after Christmas. Granted, this was like the last minute, so I probably shouldn't have waited anyways. And I didn't get anybody gifts because I didn't have the fucking money for it, or I had planned to, spend the money. And then I was like super fucking sick too. So I couldn't even work on Christmas Day. And so I called in, and this was a place I was like, you don't call in. We are open, 24, we're at 365.
A movie theater. Yeah.
And Christmas is their biggest day of the year.
Oh, of course.
So it's like, and I was like,
I'm going to a movie on Christmas Eve this year.
I was like the head, fucking concessions cashier. And like I called the call. I was like, I'm fucking sick, and I was legit sick. They were so pissed at me, dude. Like the next day I came in, they had me in like making cotton candy in the little like ice cream stand on the side of the theater, which sucked because that was back when we made commission. So me being on like the lead concession register during Christmas, like I would make like insane amounts of money. They were so pissed off at me. So I just had a bad Christmas altogether.
I remember.
I think
the
that's
story.
my worst.
I know I keep going back to GoldenEye, but
This motherfucker.
No, I got the Christmas that I actually found out that I was getting GoldenEye before Christmas. I think that was when I think I saw my mom come in with it or something. I don't remember, but that was spoiled for me. But she wouldn't let me play it until Christmas.
I can just
obviously.
imagine Nick's mom going into the house like dun 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 dun.
And that year we were going.
Trying to hide
That
from him.
year, my family and I went to Columbus, Ohio, where my grandparents lived, and so my mom would not let me play it until We were at my grandparents' house, and my grandparents have a basement, which was a basement that they had turned out into a fully just decked out like living room, bar, dance floor type shit, like a fully stocked bar. Like it was crazy, but like it was also kind of creepy. It was kind of an older house. It was dark.
It was creepy for you, probably not them.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I think about it today. Like it's. I mean, your grandparents' house is kind of creepy a little bit. Then you go down to the basement and like you have to go down these steps into this just like really. The room wasn't built for this kind of room. It's just kind of grungy and gross.
A basement.
But my grandparents, or my grandfather was kind of a dick when it came to video games. And he didn't want me playing it on his TV upstairs. So he's like, if you want to play it, you have to go downstairs. And nobody wanted to go downstairs. So I had to, and at that point, at that age, I was like, no. I had to go downstairs to that fucking basement all by myself and brave the darkness and just this creepy ass room if I want to play GoldenEye. And I sat down there and I played like probably the whole game over the course of this vacation. But I was like the entire time, it was like one of those like the house makes creepy ass noises and it's like none of the lights were bright enough. It was creepy. But yeah, that's my story.
I got two quick stories, I guess, I can remember. I guess the first one was I was a kid. My grandparents used to live in Littleton, Colorado. It's just south of Denver.
Yeah.
We would go up there. I don't know. We went up there 4 or 5 times as I was growing up. And one year we went skiing. And I think I don't know if it was the first or maybe the first or second time I was skiing. So, they take on the bunny slopes at first. And, you're learning, French fry, pizza, whatever. And you're just getting used to it. And then we went up to like a bigger slope, like a blue circle or whatever. Like whatever. I wasn't doing like black diamonds. I was like, I don't know, 11. And so I was going kind of slow. And my older sister and my dad were going fast. And so I lost them. And then I fell on the way down, so like I hit my face, and there was snow, and I couldn't find anybody, and I'm just like wandering around this fucking ski resort thing, like trying to find them, and I was just like,
still had snow on my face.
Yeah, it was bad. But then the other one was maybe 2006. I don't know. It was right out of high school. I was selling mattresses. And then we weren't supposed to be open on Christmas, and then my boss called me the day before, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to work on Christmas." And I was like, "No, like who the fuck buys mattresses on Christmas?" Like I understand there are people who don't celebrate Christmas, but I don't think the first thing they're going to do is go buy a there's not often like a mattress emergency.
What if it's a gift
that they're going to buy on Christmas?
Well, last minute.
That you can't get it delivered
You
that
don't
day.
buy anything that large last minute for Christmas.
It's not like you can get it delivered that day. The delivery would have probably been like the next week or something like that. That's just what I was like telling him, like, I don't understand this. Like you were saying, like, what's the busiest stuff on Christmas? Like the movies, like people, like Chinese restaurants. Like people don't,
Really?
Why would a mattress restaurant a mattress place be open on Christmas?
That's what I'm saying. Like I was like, I don't understand this. And he's like, well, I need you to work. And I was like, well, if you need me to, then I quit. And he was like, okay. And I was like, all right. And I quit. Because I did not want to fucking sell
That's how he
mattresses
gets rid
on
of people.
Christmas.
They're not even open on Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I know it would have been a situation where I would have gone in the store and sat there by myself the entire day and then gone home.
But that was the best job.
No, it was. I
you
fucking
had to do
did nothing. I did nothing. That job was the easiest shit. I told it before that one time that one lady came in and called me a fucking nerd because I wouldn't tell her the best mattress. I was like, it's a subjective question. I was like, do you like a soft mattress, a hard mattress? She's like, the best one. I was like, do you want the most expensive one? Like, the best one. And I was like, that one. She's like, you're a fucking nerd. And she left.
You should have opened with that story.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't Christmas.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That was like the middle of June or something.
Oh. You could have lied and said it was on
Anything
Christmas.
else?
Any other questions?
Yeah, no, we got more questions. Yeah.
Oh.
Metal Button. What game would you like to see as a behind-the-scenes documentary? Wait, what game would you like to see behind-the-scenes documentary? Would you want to rather see the politics of a canceled game or the design process of the development team? Also, would you ever consider releasing a calendar with 4 PP pics?
Tasteful nudes?
Yes.
Tasteful nudes?
Maybe tasteful nudes.
I think the juiciest documentary that could ever be made would be Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, Jesus.
Just all the bullshit that happened.
Dude,
with
I
that.
don't think that would ever happen. Like, Konami would never allow that to happen.
For me, it really depends on how they do the documentary. If it's like what they did with Double Fine and
Broken
2Player
Age.
Productions. Yeah, Broken Age and their other stuff. That'd be
I don't
really
think
Duke
good.
Nukem Forever.
There probably isn't enough history to even document here, but I got like in similar vein. I'd love to see a documentary on Silent Hills, but I don't even think that project existed long enough for there to be much to
Final
document.
Fantasy 15, Last Guardian. I think those are
Last
probably
Guardian would be. Well,
It'd be interesting.
They'd both be interesting because they both took a hell of a long
I mean,
time.
I'm sure that is a compelling.
I mean, honestly,
story,
I would love to watch.
challenging development.
I would love to watch a documentary about Final Fantasy in general, just over the
yeah.
years from one to where it is now. That'd be cool.
I think a good one recently was Grounded. The Last of Us kind of like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
That was really good, and I do like documentaries. I think it's tough to. I know some people care about when they did that documentary. I don't think they knew Last of Us was going to be such a big deal. It's kind of a situation where I wonder how many documentaries have been started, but then the game was shit, and they're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
They just stopped.
You reminded me
recording
when you said that Last of Us one, because I think that was produced by Area 5,
it. It was, yeah.
which is a production studio that was named after Area 5
from
Rez.
Rez.
And I purchased and played through Rez Infinite.
And
Which,
the
I
guys
played Rez before several times, but Area X I experienced for the first time, which is crazy because that's the first Rez level that is freeform. You can kind of fly where you want instead of it being on rails, and it's kind of crazy.
I used to love Area 5.
Yeah.
All right, two more
kinda
questions. Let's
pretty
quickly get through them. What are your opinions on the Super Mario Run for phones and other possible titles that may be pay-to-win models? Will this push franchises that have been removed from the Nintendo brand or brand for some time? Example: Intelligence Wars series on tablets and phones, or just be the new platform? Push the heavy hitter Nintendo offers every year, like Mario and Link. And
I think it's that one because the only reason Pokemon Go and Super Mario Run are so successful
Is Super Mario Run
because
successful?
Yeah.
Really?
insanely successful.
I played it. I didn't like it that
I
much.
understand that. Yeah, I should have played it.
I mean, the only
forgot.
reason they're able to be as successful as they are is because they literally are flagship franchises. Those are
If you want
everybody knows what those. Two
if you want
franchises
these
are.
back catalog titles or these less popular franchises, you gotta have Miyamoto retire, because he's kind of directing the direction of the release of these games.
But he's not the only one.
I don't think it's that.
You gotta take that creative.
I don't think
he's
it's
just a
that. I think it's
figurehead.
Intelligence War as an example. I don't think anybody's gonna go out and be like, "Oh, an Intelligence War mobile game, I'm on that." You know what I'm saying? Like Nick was saying, it's because Pokemon and Mario are so popular. I don't think a Metroid mobile game would be that successful because Nintendo would have to push the shit out of it, and I don't think they're willing to spend that much money on it.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. A final question this evening from Michael. Favorite Christmas movie ever?
Favorite Christmas movie ever?
Elf.
ni-
I like Elf.
Elf is so fucking good.
The
like
94
I
Miracle
do-
on 34th Street.
Jesus Christ.
Although the original is pretty dang good too.
You got to watch it with some some
Die Hard.
some
I changed my
popcorn
mind.
and some Charleston chews.
Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
Can you?
Halloween. Both. I'm gonna go with Die Hard.
Elf is really fucking good.
Elf is good. I
I
do
can
like
never
Elf.
if Elf's ever on, I will watch the shit out of Elf.
You know what's good? Home Alone.
Home Alone's pretty good. I was gonna say Jingle All the Way. It's such a horrible movie. It's a horrible movie.
It's got Sinbad.
With
in it.
Sinbad.
I love
and
Sinbad.
Who told you could eat my cookies? But it's a bad movie.
It's not
but
that
it's,
bad.
It's bad. Have you watched it recently?
It's got I have actually. I watched it last year.
Yeah, they made a sequel.
It's got Phil Hartman.
Yeah,
in
Phil
it.
Hartman.
He's trying to fuck the dude's wife the whole movie.
Oh
That's
my god,
comedy.
these cookies! Your wife's cookies are so good.
Oh
my god,
I'm tempted to go with Gremlins.
Gremlins is a good one.
Yeah.
Lethal
love-
Weapon was a Christmas
I
movie.
love
wasn't it?
I love Gremlins. Gremlins, Elf, and Die Hard. I guess that's the trilogy to watch.
If I can get away with saying Nightmare Before Christmas, that's my answer.
How can you shit on Miracle on 34th Street, man?
I'm not shitting
fine,
on it.
but
I'm just saying,
The guy who played Santa was the same guy who was John Hammond in Jurassic Park.
Wasn't there a version of what's the story I'm trying to think with
Christmas Story.
Where the three ghosts? What am I?
Scrooge?
Yeah. Oh, Scrooge.
Bill Murray?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. What's their version with Bill Murray?
Yes, it's called Scrooge.
Scrooge.
And that is a fucking excellent movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, like my like the thing is, like, my mom loved that movie, and so that's why I watched it a lot, because every Christmas, if my mom wasn't watching the 24-hour Christmas Story marathon, she would watch Scrooged, and that is an excellent fucking movie.
The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, but that fucking scene in Scrooge with his parents in Niagara Falls, Frankie, that always gets me, though. That's a fucking, like...
Man.
I don't think I'm going to watch Scrooge
Now that
tomorrow.
we've-
I don't think Malia's seen it.
I don't think Bernadette's seen it. Yeah, that'd be a good...
Now that we've named every Christmas movie under the sun,
No, there's plenty of
I like
Christmas,
a Christmas
movies.
Story as well.
We
Christmas
have
Story's good.
Yeah.
What is the story? Normally, that's Scrooge is based off of the story, which is normally
Christmas
called
Carol.
Christmas
Is that-
Carol.
Christmas Carol. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't. Think
Ebenezer
of that
Scrooge.
It's like
Yeah.
a fucking play.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Muppet Christmas Carol was the version with.
Yeah.
Okay.
You went with Muppets, yes.
I don't know why I couldn't think of a Christmas.
That
Carol.
story has been rehashed so many times.
I don't know, and there's a lot of
Tiny
versions
Tim.
of that story that I like, or that movie that I
They
like.
had a Patrick Stewart did a
Yep.
version of
Yeah.
it.
Did.
That was really good.
Saw that one.
But anyway, so that's all the questions this week from patrons. There were some good questions this week.
Yeah. Way to keep it all Christmas
Planes,
themed,
Trains,
too.
and Automobiles. Is that Thanksgiving or Christmas?
That's more Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's. I think it's Christmas movie. Or I think.
Yeah, Brad.
Home
What am I
Alone.
doing?
Home Alone's Christmas.
Home Alone's Christmas.
Yeah, Home Alone's
Definitely Christmas.
So yeah.
Did you know
What?
Buzz from Home Alone was in
Tim Allen.
No, he was in like a really good indie movie I saw a couple years ago called Blue Ruin, which is crazy. This is Buzz. I mean, he hasn't had the most successful career, but he was in a dope ass movie.
There you go.
What are you
So
talking about, Slade?
Yeah, don't even respond as late. Don't even. So thank you all of our patrons
It's called ground.
for your questions. Every week before the show, we will post a thread on Patreon, patreon.com/4player, where you can ask any question you'd like.
Oh, the first Harry Potter. Is that really a Christmas movie? It reminds me of Christmas.
I mean, Christmas is...
Christmas happens.
Christmas
though.
happens.
But
yeah.
I mean, just because Christmas happens in a movie, I would not say it
Thank
makes
They're
it a
you,
fucking
Christmas movie.
pagans. Okay,
Thank you, Crispy.
They don't believe in
If
Christmas.
I could get away with that, then the first Harry Potter.
They're
would be my-
pagans. They're all gonna burn in hell.
Just because you can watch a movie that has Christmas in it, I don't think that's a Christmas
But it
movie.
makes that whole movie makes me think of Christmas, and maybe that's because a lot of those movies came out around Christmas time
Maybe,
in
yeah.
theaters.
They
but
December was, yeah.
You know what I like?
they have the Christmas vibe.
The episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where he promises Nikki that he's going to get Boyz II Men to sing at his christening. And he fucking tries and like, fuck you. You fucked my girlfriend. But they show up anyways. Oh, man. Gets me.
All right, thanks for all the questions this evening.
Yeah.
Like we said, like Nolan was saying, if you want to leave a question, we post it on patreon.com/4player every week. If you want to support us, that's where you'll find us. But now it's time to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. So Brad's going to start us off. We're going to do our hype, our sweat, thank you, and our fuck you, unless we want to do different.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm in good spirits. 4 hypes.
4.
Hypes, baby.
Wow.
Again. First hype. The Nier demo comes out tomorrow.
It does, doesn't
Yeah, I
it?
can't wait. The Nier demo with the Platinum Games. Shit looks,
And I've heard it's good.
Shit looks pretty fresh. You know what also comes out tomorrow? My second hype, Gravity Rush 2 demo. Gonna play that jam.
I think it's the same demo. I think it's the E3 demo, but it was good.
Gonna play the fuck out of that. My third hype is for Street Fighter V Laura Season 2. They made some changes to her. She's going from bottom tier to top tier because of these changes. The word on the street is that she's a fucking beast now. Her V skill, her overhead, it's plus on block now. That shit used to be unsafe.
What?
People watch me do that on the stream. They're like, Brad, you
have
need to
no
stop
idea what
doing
that
that.
means.
Brad, you need to stop doing that. You're going to get
Nobody does.
punished. But I was just poning noobs. Now I can just throw it out there and they can't do shit. Oh, man. Fucking steamrolling. And my final hype is, of course, for fucking Christmas, man. Christmas is coming up. I got to work that day, but fuck it. I'm still excited. I'm excited to give gifts. You know, I'm excited for my wife to open her gifts. She has no idea what she's getting. I did some cool stuff. You know, well, I'm not going to tell you what I got her. She could be watching.
She could be
Or
listening.
listening through the wall.
She's never seen an episode or anything.
She
She doesn't know who we are.
She has no idea what we're doing in this room every week.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the fuck's
All right,
going
and my
on.
4-player masters now. All right, my hypes. Rogue One. I didn't get to see it. Bernadette and I had tickets. Then Bernadette got the flu, and so we had to cancel. We're going Saturday. I bought the tickets, so I'm excited for that.
You wouldn't happen to be going to... Wait, you're not going
yeah.
You're saying in the morning. Never
How do you
mind.
feel about Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
Didn't like it.
Okay.
No, shut up. Shut up.
Just
Okay.
Shut up.
fucking go.
Anyway, wait, Nick, are you going to Lakeline?
No, we're going
I'm going to Lakeline.
slaughter.
Yeah. My second hype is for Christmas. I'm pretty excited. Our Christmas tree went up a while ago, and it's
In flames?
no, we just like
Up
put
in
it up. Like, I bought a Christmas tree and shoved it in the trunk of my car and got it home.
Yeah, we talked about that, remember?
Yeah. It's weird. Like this Christmas hasn't been super Christmassy for some reason. I guess maybe it's because it's been hot or not cold at least. There was a couple of
been
days
cold
where it got,
lately.
well, yeah, the past couple of days it got a little bit chilly. But I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I guess it's you just as you get older. I guess I always associated Christmas with being like doing nothing. You break from school, so you do nothing all for like weeks on end. But now I'm working all week and like I haven't taken like a Christmas break in a long time, and I don't see that really happening in the future. Just
Do you
because
get like Friday off?
not really. I'm not officially. The only official day I get off is the 25th. Which is a Sunday anyway, so I mean, and then Bernadette works in a hospital, so she didn't really have. So I mean, like, I don't think we're ever gonna have like that. What I had when I was a kid, like, cause my mom was a school teacher, so it was kind of like this weird kind of. It's been so different, but I'm still excited for it. That which kind of ties into my a sweat I have, is I am going to my dad's on Christmas, and that wasn't the original plan, but now it is, and I had thought of a gift I was going to get my dad and hadn't gotten it yet. But then now if I'm going there, I'm like, crap, I get some of my stepmom, my little brother, my little sister, my stepsister.
So you
I'm
suddenly
like,
have more Christmas shopping
Like,
to do?
oh, fuck. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to get them. Like, it's when my little brother and little sister were kids, it was easy. Like, oh, he liked, fucking Power Rangers or whatever, and she liked this. But now he's like 16 and she's like 17 or, 17. I have no fucking idea what they like right now. And so I have no idea what to get them.
Nudie calendars.
What?
Nudie calendars.
You have no idea what to
Fireman's
get them?
calendar for her.
Hey, I recommend swinging by
Playboy
Blue
calendar
Genie.
for
They
him.
got a lot of cool shit there.
Maybe I'll think about that.
No, that Blue Genie Art Bazaar was cool.
Okay.
I went there.
Well, I mean, I'd have to go like tomorrow.
Yeah, you can go. I mean, it's they
probably
got a lot
crowded
of
as
cool
fuck.
shit.
Yeah.
A lot of cool shit.
All right, and then my other hype that Brad stole was the Neo demo tomorrow. I'm excited for that.
Wait, you mean near?
Sorry, yeah, Nier. I didn't mean to say Neo. Was the Nier demo? I'm pumped for Nier. I still haven't finished the first one. I started earlier this year.
Get on that.
Yeah, I need to. I think I tried to show everyone up because everyone talked to me about how bad the fishing was, and I was like, I'm gonna catch a fish on my first try, and I fished for like 45 minutes and didn't get fucking anything.
You might have been in the wrong place. That's the thing about the
funny.
fishing.
I don't know. But yeah, and I haven't played the game since then.
Fuck.
But yeah, but I am excited for Nier Automata.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, my
Your
4 player
turn.
minute starts now. My first hype is for the Christmas break, which my college is going on.
See, this fucking guy over here that-
Today was essentially my Friday, but tomorrow I'm going in for a breakfast with all my coworkers, which are friends. Then we go into the office for an hour for like a formality. And then we just go home. That's what we do. And then we're off until like January 3rd. So I'm like, fuck yeah.
On the Nier demo, there's fucking DLC for the game or something. I saw it in like a Japanese ad or something where you can get a Vice skin for your little floating robot thing. You know, the floating book from Nier, the talking book. You can well, whatever.
My second hype
They
goes,
know what I'm talking about.
My second hype goes to a little bit of news that popped up, I think, last week or the week before. Dmitry Glukovsky, he's the author behind the Metro series.
I saw that.
He did a Reddit AMA the other day to celebrate the release of Metro 2035.
Didn't you ask
finally.
a question?
No, I found out about it hours later, and he pointed to very coyly that we can expect a game from him from a project that one of his IPs.
You say coyly, didn't he say you should direct any questions about that
To Deep Silver?
To Deep Silver,
Yeah, But he was saying that
I don't know if that's...
he was hinting that not only are we getting a new Metro game next year, but that his other new IP, the Future series, is also getting a game adaptation. I hear that new IP is pretty good. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll take some of that.
my sweat goes to the Game of the Year videos because we're not quite as far along in the production of them as I want to be, but
We're
I feel
working
like
on it.
we'll catch up to where we need to be.
We'll get made. We'll get
As soon as Brad finishes Let It Die, right?
Yeah, as soon as I finish Let It Die.
I had another sweat, which was I'm trying to finish all my games for the rest of the year by the end of the year. I've got like 4 more games I want to work on. I think I can do it. I think I can do it.
I got like 12 games.
I got to finish Quantum Break. I want to play Shadow Tactics, and there's
Shadow
like 2 more.
Tactics.
Yeah, 'cause I hear Shadow Tactics is great.
You know what I hear is great? Like 14 games that came out this year that I haven't played yet.
Well, when you don't have a social life like me, you have time for them. And then,
Surprised.
and then my thank you goes to y'all for this wonderful piece of art that you gave
You're
me.
very welcome.
I
And your
actually,
fuck you for this week goes to yourself for not recognizing the Quake 1 final boss. You need to play that game. That's your fucking homework.
I saw the Retro Ahoy documentary about Quake a few months back, but I couldn't remember the name of the
That's
boss.
the boss you telefrag.
Well, again, I've played all the Quakes except for Quake 1, so.
It's not even really a boss fight, but it's a puzzle. But
Yeah.
whatever.
All right. My 4-player minute starts now. My hype. I know I said this last week. I'm going to keep that train rolling because I'm very fucking excited. Resident Evil 7. I'm very, very excited to play that full game, especially in VR.
Maybe I'll play that in VR tomorrow. The demo.
You should try it. You should try it. And my recommendation is if your brain and your eyes can handle it without making you feel nauseous, is to turn off the.
I think I'll be okay. I've not had
quick
trouble yet.
Turn off
so.
the quick cuts.
Do not go on the internet about this game for the rest of the month or
What?
through the release.
There's spoilers.
It's been data mined, and now there's spoilers everywhere.
But is it like cool stuff?
I'm not going to read it.
Oh, I'm gonna read it.
No.
I'm very fucking excited. My sweat goes to Dark Souls 3. I didn't even realize. I looked at my clock, my in-game clock the other night after I finished broadcasting, and I'm only like 15 hours into Dark Souls 3.
That's not actually. Dark Souls 3 is not as long as some of the others.
It's not.
Well, I only level like 43, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna finish before the end of the year. I was hoping to be able to say that I finished 3 Dark Souls games in a year, but I don't
In other
think
words,
it's
the
going-
whole series in a year.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But you know, I've played a lot of Dark Souls this year. My fuck you goes to whatever the fuck happened to my Far Cry Primal disc, which I popped in last night to capture some footage, and something in the past.
Ate it.
I don't even like you. I looked at the disc and it was perfect, but it was. And then I was like spinning it in my hand, and I ran my fingers along the edges, and there was like grooves that were cut into like the edges of the disc. Which yeah, like the bottom is perfect, but along the edge on one side there's like little grooves cut into it, which I was panicked. I was like, "Oh my god, is my system eating my disc?" But it hasn't happened to any other game at all, and I don't know if this happened 8 months ago when I finished playing it, or
It's
if it
almost
happened.
as if your disc went primal.
Maybe it was that raccoon.
Maybe it was. I don't know what the fuck happened, but grr,
Hasn't the raccoon returned?
No.
I thought it might. Well, when I was broadcasting last week, there was something making noise, and I thought it was, but I think it was on my roof because I haven't heard it since.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
There
I was on your roof last
There was
week.
an instance where I thought maybe the fucking raccoon was back. And my thank you of the week goes to Chris Davis for this wonderful shirt, not the game.
Not the game.
Hey,
No,
it
seriously.
was very
game, but
nice.
yeah,
Thank you for the game.
Even though they're probably like $4.
My other
these days,
sweat
so.
is playing the Division, which I will do. Yeah, but thank you for this sweet shirt. This shirt that reminds me of that game that I just finished telling you that I haven't finished. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to wear this shirt until I finish it.
It's pretty dope.
You should
I'm just
wear it
kidding.
while you're playing it.
I will probably wear it while I'm
I
playing.
can't wait for someone to make like a Let It Die shirt.
Well, I'm sure it's
Man,
already
he
happened.
cannot stop.
Have you
thinking about
checked
Let
the
It Die.
Sony merch store? There might be something.
I'm sure
already.
it exists. All right, that is our show, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said at the beginning of the show, if there's anything you want to chime in on, please leave a comment on 4playernetwork.com. We'll read some of your feedback at the beginning of the next episode. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
And
Yeah.
take our
Everybody-
surveys.
take our surveys, please. Go leave us your top 10 games of the year and vote in your favorite highlights of the year. Entering both of those will enter you into our game giveaways that we're running in December/January. So, anyways, thank you so much for listening. 4playernetwork.com is, of course, the website. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And you can watch us broadcast games every night.
Yeah.
At 4pp.tv. So that's our show. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace
Goodbye.
out, bitches.